Okay, we are live. What's up, everybody? Nice Thursday night. Oh, weather's like 63 out. It's been a gorgeous day, man. It's going to be 82 and sunny tomorrow. I mean, this is what Florida's all about, man. This is what Florida is all about. Okay, I think
And
we're.
California.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. That's true, too. But you're not in
Florida
California.
isn't the only nice
You're not in
weather
California,
state in the
though.
U.S.
You're in
So
Utah.
I can still appreciate
I
it.
know you can. All right, I think we're ready to roll. Let's get going here. Everybody good to go? By everybody, I mean you, Kingsley. You good, man?
Do you even have to
I
ask?
know, but I
Are we
ask
waiting
anyway.
on me or you?
I ask anyway. All right. I think we're good. Here we go. Well, what's up, Guardian? Welcome to episode 329, Guardian Downcast. I'm your host, Todd the Gator. I'm a day one Guardian who loves gaming and especially the Destiny franchise. We're the podcast that's all about your stories, your community, and your destiny. Those of you who may just discovered our podcast, we're a weekly gaming show with an emphasis on the Destiny franchise, and we talk about other things as well from time to time relating to gaming and our hobby. For those of you listening right now on the podcast platforms out there and want to check out our live shows, just go to Todd the Gator on YouTube and Twitch. That's TODDTHEGATR. And of course, our Discord community. That's discord.gg/Guardian Downcast. And you can join in our live stage channel every Thursday night, 9 p.m. And it's Eastern time, by the way. And also have the replays on my Twitch and YouTube if you want to watch it back if you're across the pond and sleeping right now. I totally get that. So we have the replays too if you want to see how things went about 24 hours earlier. I have my co-host from the great state of Utah, Mr. Kingsley Mack, with us again. How's it going, Mike?
Hello, I'm doing great. Glad to be here once again.
Absolutely. Well, this week it is another co-hosted show. We have kind of a lot to talk about this week. First, we'll briefly catch up on our week, see what we have to, what we've been up to this week. I do have one movie review to share. Boy, it's out there. We'll also give our thoughts on Bungie's new Renegades trailer. Next, Kingsley Mack are going to go over this week in Destiny and cover any of the pertinent major topics in Bungie's weekly blog. Then it's time for our topic of the week. Kingsley and I will discuss a brand new topic this week. I have a website I came across that was very interesting, and I want to share it with all you guys today. Then it's time we get questions from our community, and we actually have some good questions this week. I can't wait to look at those. So, Kingsley, if you haven't looked at them yet, you might want to dip in there and check them out. Got some pretty insightful questions, Destiny related. So at the end of the show, we'll get into
Oh,
those.
so we have to do our homework?
Well, I mean, I always look and see
Let's see.
what's
I better
popping up.
start looking.
You know, you better at least start
Yeah.
preparing an answer at least, or start thinking about
So
it.
do you have answers for all of them yourself?
I have pretty much. I pretty much
We
do.
will see.
We'll see. We'll see. I may push it to you while I think of an answer, but no, I've looked at them all over. I think they're some pretty good questions, and we have one that you don't see from a past member of our community. So he answered a question as well, and we'll answer that tonight. Of course, if there's any questions in the chat, anybody wants to give us any feedback in the chat, you have thoughts on what we're talking about, feel free to jump in the chat and let us know, and we'll be sure to read it aloud on the show if it's applicable. So we appreciate you. Well, if everyone's ready, let's roll. Well, Mr. Kingsley Mack, let's get into it, man. What have you been doing this last week? Anything you want to talk about or share that you've been doing in gaming or life or whatever's going on over there in Utah?
Gaming is great. So many fun things that I'm doing, and it's not going to end anytime soon because I still have a couple other games I'm going to hop back into. But wow, great RPG game I've been getting into, The Outer Worlds 2. It's been so much fun
Oh,
because it is a perfect mix for me. You got like the crazy games like Baldur's Gate, which I tried. I mean, anyone who's had this discussion with me before, I absolutely am bored to death of IRL um, D&D because I don't like the theater of the mind, and I'm just not creative enough to care about that shit.
yeah.
But I figure in a video game, I'm going to like it more. Well, Baldur's Gate was even a little much for me. I may still get into it, but the thing about Outer World 2 is it's a good mix of action RPG that's really scratching the itch for me. and I don't even know how far I'm in it. I'm not even caring. I'm just vibing. I put many, many hours in so far. At at best, I'm maybe like a third of the way through at worst. And when I say worst, because I don't want it to end, I'm maybe halfway through.
Okay.
So we'll see. We'll see, but enjoying it so much. And it's definitely programmed in a way where you can, even though it's a single player game, it's not a one and done by any means. Like you can go through and get such a different experience each time because there's so many different builds you can do. Like
Mhm.
I'm focusing on hacking and engineering and speech. But then there's certain things you can or can't do if you don't have those skill sets. And of course, you can put more points in, but you could go through another playthrough and get like different dialogue and different ways of doing certain quests with specking out to different builds the next time. And again, like we were saying, I just love how you can just pick everything up and there's no weight or encumbrance or anything. And you have to deal with ammo a little bit more than other games, but it doesn't feel oppressive. Like what you end up doing is you just buy or craft. You have two different options, and they're very easy to do. You don't feel like you're limited on resources once you start playing for a little bit. You buy or craft stuff a bunch ahead of time so that when you're out exploring and in battles, you'll have enough. Now, if you start to run out of ammo, you can pick up a little bit here and there off of like dead bodies or in the
Mhm.
world, but that will never be your main source. And you need to, if you really want a lot of ammo, you want to fast travel back to like a crafting bench or a vendor to buy some. And in some ways, you think like that seems weird because we're not used to stuff like that, but it's worked really well. I've never felt like oppressed in a way where like it hasn't been fun in certain fights. And I just got this ability now where I can see invisible things. I
Oh,
don't want to
nice.
spoil stuff too much, but it's so fun popping that now because you're like, oh my gosh, the world has just gone twice as big because you realize it's part of the storyline in the second place you go, but you realize there was things back on the first planet too that I wasn't able to see or do because I didn't have that invisibility skill yet. Not where I turn invisible, but where I can see things in the invisible world. So you can like interact, pick up more things, see secret doors. I mean, the exploration's off the charts. It's been a lot of fun. I think people that have been playing it have generally enjoyed it also. So I highly, highly recommend people check out that game if they were just considering checking it out. It's I can give it a thumbs up so far.
Yeah, I did. I did go ahead and buy it. I think I got it on.
You bought it or you Game Pass?
I think I got it on Game Pass actually. See, I got to
Yeah,
figure
that's what we
out.
were
I
talking
don't
about
use.
last time.
Yeah, I got to get the controller settings set up right because it wouldn't let my. It wouldn't acknowledge my controller last time. I started up the main menu and I was setting all the. I was doing all the initial stuff like setting up the appearance and stuff with my player and all that, but I did that with my mouse.
Yeah,
But
I'll help you. There's no controller settings you need. All you need is just open an app, and then
okay,
that's it. And then the
yeah,
app basically turns your PlayStation controller into an Xbox
okay,
controller so that the game will recognize
gotcha.
it. And then,
Okay,
but there's no settings. You just
okay,
open it, and that's it.
okay. Yeah,
And
you'll have to
then
show
and
me
then
how
it
to do
works
that.
well. Yeah.
Because I got frustrated and I just
Yeah.
turned it off. But I was ready to play it that night. It looked really, I mean, the beginning screen it's really cool. It's like you're on a stage and there's like cutout. It's the art
Mhm.
design is really, the art style is really cool in this game. I'm really going to dig it. See, I want to get in. I want to
Yeah.
jump in and start shooting stuff and having fun with it. So it's on my list. Trust me. Uh,
It's made by the same people, Obsidian, that made
yeah.
Avowed, and I really liked Avowed, and then
Okay.
also, of course, Fallout New Vegas. And I'm going to go back and play that game because I never played Fallout
I
New
started it.
Vegas, right? Not Old Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah. And heard good things about that one. So I'm going to go back and play that afterwards. But I don't want this to end. There's a lot of good stuff there. And then one other small game update coming out. This kind of came out of nowhere. November 17th, I think. There's a small DLC update for Assassin's Creed Mirage,
Hmm.
and that'll be interesting too. But I did see, unfortunately, GTA got delayed again.
I heard that's what the delay to now? I thought I just heard it was coming out in the.
November.
Uh,
Just today, it got announced it got delayed again.
man.
There was speculation again because I was in a chat the other night and people were saying someone was talking about when it's coming out, and they're like, "No, actually, if you look, they they removed that. It was going to be like March or right, something
That
like that.
I saw that on
And
Twitter, and I was like, "What?"
but they removed that and they just said they didn't say when it was coming out. And then today they announced another delay.
Oh, brother.
Whatever, man.
Call of Duty's not going to be liking that, because that's when they put their new game out. There'll be some competition for. I mean, that's probably the only game
Look,
I could see giving Call of Duty a run for its money. Would
remember
be
when I don't even believe that. Like the way
really,
games are these days, people will play what they want to play. Remember everyone was talking about this fall about like, oh, these games that are coming out like Borderlands and other games are going to
yeah.
like disrupt everything. No, I don't think that happens these days
I don't
anymore. I
think so.
think people just play what they like to play. And if two really good games come out at the same time, that does not affect anything. They just play some game a little bit, they play another game a little
Yeah,
bit,
but
you
here's the
know?
thing: if Arc Raiders and Outer Worlds 2 and Battlefield 6 weren't out right now, I think Bungie's numbers would be much higher than they are now, because there's a lot more distractions now. And let's face it, Bungie's not really
No.
giving us any incentive to stick around and play other than,
Well,
the
that's what you want to believe.
I know,
I
but
play other games not
all right.
because
Okay.
they're fighting against Bungie, but because I'm bored with Destiny.
Yeah.
It's not
I get
because
that.
of the games are better,
Yeah,
you
I
know.
get that.
Like even if these games weren't out, I'd be playing other games anyways. So
Okay.
you can't say that the games are pulling away from Bungie. It's more Bungie's fault not putting out enough good
Well,
content to keep people interested,
I got
you
no
know.
room. I got no room to talk anyway, Mike, because I've been so busy at work, man, and I'm working on some other
Yeah.
projects. I'm working on some other projects on the side as well, so it's been taking all my gaming time. But I
I
do.
know, I feel bad for you. Like I would refuse to not play. I
I don't know.
look,
It.
I like to have fun, and
I know
I'm not going to be putting all these things in my life that take away from gaming.
it doesn't take away from gaming, but like Destiny's my game, man.
Oh, your podcast
It's
and
my
content
daily. It's
creation,
my
and
daily. I mean, that Destiny's pretty much my daily grind. But like just this week alone, I had to do a deposition today, for something that it happened a while back that I talked about in previous shows. I don't want to get into it now, but yeah, I had that today, and then I had to go to work. I had to get some work done, man, and it's getting to be crunch time now for me, because we're getting into the winter months, and everything is slower in the winter. What I mean by that is everybody's hanging on to their dollars, and people right now are paying me on time, boom, boom, boom. But there's just something that happens right in December, right after Thanksgiving. All of a sudden the payments, everybody's paying me a little later. I'm waiting 2 to 3 weeks to get a payment. I mean, Zombie Pops knows what I'm talking about. I mean, cash flow is so important in a business, and yeah, I don't know. It is what it is, I guess. But I just had a lot of stuff going on in IRL, I guess you could say. But one thing I never forget to do is I always jump in. I do my daily seasonal stuff, even if I have to do it at night. I get my weekly seasonal track done. If there's one thing that Bungie's getting right, is that seasonal track every week that resets. That's a win for me, man, because I'm getting materials, I'm getting high level gear, I'm getting a high level exotic, Ingram that turns into an exotic. So I'm getting an exotic piece every week. I'm going to Zavala to get some new gear, like several versions of the same weapon and all kinds of different roles for armor. It's a total win, man. Bungie has nailed that part of it. That they never need to take that out of the game, because for us daily grinders and engagers, I'm on every day doing that just about, because I feel like I don't want to miss out on that. I want to make sure I get to my level 20 every week. And of course they're giving us Bright Dust, which is going to change next expansion, but I won't get down that road right now. But for now, I'm loving the fact that
didn't you I mean, I'm not saying that's bad that they do that, but didn't you do your dailies just as much before they added that in the game? I feel like you
I
did.
did my daily
You
gunsmith
always played
bounties.
Destiny a lot.
Yeah, I did my daily gunsmith bounties, but they're taking those away next season
No,
too.
I mean like play daily. You always have a reason to play daily no matter what they give or don't give you, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, whether it's a lost sector or something, and it's typically for daily, just for daily, mindless grind stuff while I'm watching YouTube on the side.
Mhm.
It's usually something solo in Destiny that I want to do, and almost every time, Kingsley, it ties back to some kind of reward I'm getting, whether it's enhancement cores or whether it's golf balls or working toward working toward crafting a weapon or enhancing a weapon. That's usually what I'm involved in, is just trying to better my arsenal. Even if people don't think it'll make much difference, it does to me. So that's what keeps me going. And right now, we're getting lots of good XP for all those, you can call them bounties or missions or whatever, for the dailies and the weeklies for the season. It gives me good, it helps me move the reward pass bar. So I'm almost at 110 on my main account. I'm about 85 on my 2 alt accounts, maybe 85 on one and like 75 on another. I'll make sure I get those cranked out. Those are my other 2 clan accounts. So, we have 3 Guardian Downcast clans, so I have one in each of them.
Yeah. So I've thought about this so much, like, yeah, that's good for you and many players. But with numbers being so low right now, don't you think like that alone is not good enough, or else more people would be playing? That kind of proves that people want more than these boring daily grind things. They actually want more than that.
See, but Destiny's a hobby game for me. It's my hobby. It's my time waster. People have widgets.
Again, I'm not saying
fidget
for you,
spinners,
but for the greater good, for the bigger population.
That's the problem, man, is there's so many different types of gamers out there. I mean, we're going to talk about that because that was our question of the week this week, was based on gamer personalities or profiles. So we'll get into that later in the show. But no, I mean, gaming wise, that's all I've been doing. Entertainment wise, though, I got to use my soundbite here. Of course, no malware bites. We don't need to talk right now. I do have a
Get your computer in check.
I do have a movie review. Movie review. My wife and I saw Emma Stone's latest film called Bergonia. This is a movie that is about 2 conspiracy-obsessed men who kidnap a CEO of a major pharmaceutical company, and they're convinced she's an alien who wants to destroy our Earth. Right off the bat, this movie sounds crazy as hell. I mean, it looks like it's going to go off the rails. And for the most part, it does. In a good way, though. In a good way. Right off, yeah, I mean, I'll admit the movie kind of starts a little slow, establishing who does what. It takes a little longer to get started. That's the one thing I would say is bad about this movie, is a little bit of a snore fest, getting everybody established on what they're doing, like showing how obsessed of a boss she is, and then showing another life of these 2 guys and how these two worlds collide. But I tell you what, man, it's as the movie continues, it really gets intriguing. I mean, that's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to ruin this movie, because it is, let's just say by the ending, the whole theater audience was stunned. I mean, stunned. Not a word, not a peep from anybody. It's not for everybody, but it's a little off kilter. I mean, if you're like those little off kilter kind of movies, you'll like this. You'll like this movie. You'll like this movie. But I did like it. I like movies that challenge and do different things. Because I mean, I hate movies that are cookie cutter and have the same endings all the time. I like to be stunned every now and then, So I'm giving this one 3.5 stars. It's a solid, good movie. It'll leave you a little disheveled at the end, but overall, I thought it was a very entertaining movie, and I'm still thinking about it today. So it's worth a good score for me. So check that one out, especially if it comes out on like HBO Max or something. It's still at the theaters, but it probably won't be out there very long, because the movie's about to get crazy going into the holiday season, and we got a lot of movies we want to watch coming up. I also started season 4 of The Witcher, and so far I'm liking what I'm seeing. I saw the first 3 episodes, and I love the fact that Lawrence Fishburne is now involved in this series. What his part is in this show, I don't know yet, but I'll just tell you something. Something is a little sus about this guy, but I'll be starting episode 4 very soon, and he does have a pretty important part at the very end there of episode 3. I don't want to give anything away, but it's pretty eye-opening. So maybe he is a good guy. I don't know, but that's it pretty much for me, man. Anything else you want to mention we've forgotten for this week?
So I don't know anything about this movie, but on IMDb, I'm seeing like pictures, and Emma Stone with her shaved head. You know who she looks exactly like?
Who?
What's her name from Alien?
Sigourney Weaver? That's a stretch.
She looks a lot like her.
Maybe. Sigourney Weaver has a lot more deeper face than Emma Stone has more
But
of
I
a
mean,
kid.
like,
She has a more of a kid face. But oh man,
maybe
I'm
Sigourney Weaver
telling
was
you,
a
man.
lot younger back then too.
Yeah, well, that's true too. That's true too. I don't know. Let's put a side by side comparison together and see how it looks. But it was a crazy movie, man. I'll just tell you that. It's the ending just I'm not giving away shit. So you guys can figure it out if you guys decide to want to watch it. But I enjoyed it quite a bit. I thought it was very entertaining. So I tell you what, man, let's get into since we talked about our week here, but before we get into our topic of the week, let's go ahead and pull the Band-Aid off here and talk about what's going on with this week in Destiny. Be right back. You know what? I'm going to play a Contact Us, one of our ads. Give you guys the podcast feel, right? Hey, thanks for listening to Guardian Down Cast. There are several ways you can contact us. First, you can find us on X at Guardian_D_cast. Or you can find us on our Instagram channel at Guardian Down Cast and see what pics and reels that I and our podcast guests want to share with you guys. You can send us a voicemail at speakpipe.com/GuardianDownCast. You can send us an email at guardiandowncast@gmail.com. But if you just want to do it all in one spot, check out our new website. Just visit guardiandowncast.com. You can find all our contact info, leave us a voicemail, give us our show rating and review, search for any past episodes, or even get back to our community. Also, don't forget to sign up for future updates to the show, where we'll also have random drawings throughout the year, and you may win a gift card or even some Guardian Downcast merch. Our community thrives on interaction, so get involved and check us out. And later, Guardian. All right, maybe not that ad next time. That was a little long. Sorry about that. I'm just trying some different.
Up for this.
I'm trying trying different things tonight, guys. Don't kill the messenger, okay? All right, here we go. Come on, music. Stop. I don't want to record music over my track. I know, that's true. That's very true. That's very true. All right, this week in Destiny for November 6th, 2025. This week in Destiny, we're lacing up our boots, washing our armor, and cleaning our barrels as we prepare for the upcoming Lawless Frontier. Here's the rundown. First, we're going to talk about calling all to arms. Next week, or tomorrow, if you're listening to this audio version on Monday, Devram K on the EDZ is he's a gentleman of well-defined taste. Comes to the tower for the first time on a mission, rallying Guardians to obtain the best gear and build up their power. During the Call to Arms event, you'll be able to attune event weapons to obtain that role that you've been seeking, with a chance to receive their holofoil variants. Claim daily powerful gear from different activities and receive new Lawless vouchers, formerly cutting-edge procurements, containing a random assortment of new Season 28 gear and other items. Here, you know what? Let's do this real quick. Let's go ahead and let's do that. That makes things a little easier. There we go. There's going to be some Twitch drops during the event. 2 exclusive Twitch drops will be available to earn. Receive a legendary Call to Arms themed shader for watching any Destiny 2 streamer for at least 30 minutes, and receive an exotic ghost shell for gifting a sub to another streamer, to your favorite streamer. I like that. That's pretty cool. Doesn't show them, by the way, but just make sure you link your Bungie account to your Twitch to make sure you get the drops. You can then unlock them by logging on to Bungie net account and going over the partner rewards section of the code redemption area. The Renegades weapons and gear trailer, and this was about I think it was about a minute long. I wanted to watch this real quick. I've got it pulled up here. We can watch it real quick and we'll just go over it here.
Welcome, Renegade. I have another bounty for you. But I don't pay for mercy.
There's a lot of hand cannons, man. A lot of hand cannons. Now what's Bungie's deal with hand cannons? But they, of course, got my pulse rifle. Hate it when they do stuff sideways. Oh my god. Titans are gonna have a backpack. Praxic Blade. And he takes down a whole walker. Okay. Pretty cool trailer, I must say. I don't know. What do you think, Kingsley? What do you think of that trailer, man? Did it get you excited, or is that the...
I had to switch over to Twitch halfway through because I didn't...
Sorry, yeah, I'm sorry. I can't share my screen, unfortunately, but
yeah. I mean, you can technically, but
technically I can, but then it messes up everything on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
But they talk. They're going to go over all the weapons here. But what do you think overall? I mean, were you getting excited about the different weapons and the Praxic Blade?
Not really. I mean, I've seen good trailer. This is still a good trailer, though.
Yeah.
I've seen good trailers a million times from Bungie, and so I've just kind of grown numb to them these days because just because they have a good trailer doesn't mean the gameplay is going to be amazing. We've learned that time and time again. Also, I'm really concerned about, are we literally going to be cutting? I don't think they have the assets in the game, but maybe it'll change. Are we literally going to be cutting that brig in half? I kind of doubt it. That they show that in the trailer, but if we don't see that in the game, I'm going to be kind of pissed that they showed cutting it in half in the trailer, but we don't actually do that in the game.
I can see a Titan using his little powered backpack, going up there with his Praxic Blade and just hitting it, just like, come on, falling off the front face of that thing. That is good. I can't wait to see that video.
Well, I mean, I'm sure in the game we'll see it explode or something cool, but hey, color me wrong if we do actually see it literally cut in half. But that would have to be new code that they're building in the game. So maybe they are actually going to do that.
I mean, they showed it in the trailer. They showed it in the gameplay.
Yeah.
But that's
no.
No, that's
not pure gameplay.
That's CGI.
They slowed that down. They used CGI.
Yeah, that's CGI. Yeah. I get it. Well, let's get into the weapons here real quick because they do mention them in the TWAB.
Yeah, let's go for it.
We're introducing a couple of new weapons subfamilies alongside Renegades in one completely new type. Heat weapons do not have magazines. Instead, they have heat sinks, allowing them to fire their ammo directly from reserves while generating heat with each shot, and they can be manually vented to dissipate heat at will, in other words, reloading. But be careful, overheating these weapons will force a sustained vent before you can fire again. They also have a couple of new stats to look out for. Yeah, with the heat venting, I'm very familiar with this because in Battlefront, you would anytime you vented your gun, so you could, say you're going into about to go into a room where you know you're going to be firing the weapon a lot, you would then vent it, and that vent took I want to say that venting took a good 3.5 to 4 seconds. It took a long time.
Yeah, other games do this too, and I do not like venting.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because I'm guessing it'll be usually how venting works is it's longer than like a heavy reload, and I don't want that for like a regular weapon. I mean, it looks cool. It's like, sure, it's cool in theory, but like no one wants to have a long reload, which this venting would be. So hopefully it's not that long. We'll see.
Well, they have 3 new stats for this weapon. The first one is called heat generated. It's how much heat is generated per shot. Okay. I have a feeling that's going to relate to how much impact the weapon has. Cooling efficiency, how quickly the weapon will cool down when not being fired. Okay. And then vent speed, like we just talked about, how fast the weapon reduces heat when manually vented or overheated. We've split the heat weapons up into 2 archetypes. Dynamic, higher base damage, high heat generated, weapon cools down more rapidly between shots, which is exactly what I was just talking about more high impact weapons. Then you have balance, which is very low heat generated, manually venting at very high heat greatly increases venting speed. Okay. In the addition to the above benefits, primary ammo heat weapons have an intrinsic effect of dealing bonus damage to powerful combatants. And keep an eye out for the new heat-based perks and some fun interactions that we have added to some exotic armors, existing perks, and subclass atoms. So we have the modified B7 pistol. It's a hand cannon stasis dynamic heat weapon, all or nothing pulse rifle, strand dynamic heat weapon. The M17 Fast Talker, it's a submachine gun stasis balanced heat weapon. Compact Defender sidearm void dynamic heat weapon. Uncivil Discourse special ammo hand cannon arc dynamic heat weapon. Refurbished A499. This is a heavy ammo sniper rifle. It's kinetic heavy. Okay. Disruption weapon, fires a single heavy hitting round, disintegrates targets on impact. I can't wait to try that. I love sniping. I just hate snipers that don't one shot kill stuff. Praxic Blade is a special ammo sword, kinetic, exotic. That's more related to the Ergo Sum, I'm guessing. Ergo Sum sword. Same slot, in other words. And then you have the Heirloom, a special ammo crossbow solar exotic. So there you go. There's the all the weapons, Kingsley. Anything stand out right there that you want to talk about?
Well, just on a higher level, I know why they did this because, again, with the Lucasfilm collaboration, this was all how it worked in Star Wars Outlaws also. The blasters had heat venting stuff. And again, I don't absolutely love it. Now, there was some blasters that were quicker to dissipate. And of course, they're telling us this here too. The balanced ones will be quicker versus the dynamic ones. But they still tend to generally be longer than a reload on average.
They
So
are.
I don't know what the benefit is here, unless they're going to be that much more powerful. But remember, we already have super powerful weapons like Mint Retrograde.
Yeah.
So I don't know that this Praxic Blade will get me to swap out Mint Retrograde. We will see.
Yeah.
But I think it's cool that they're trying. But obviously, the reason why they're trying this is probably because I feel like, again, with that bounty system, and we don't mean like Destiny bounties, but the bounties that are coming with Renegade,
Right.
with the factions,
Right.
and then with these weapons. I feel like all these ideas didn't come from Bungie. They actually came from Lucasfilm with their other games.
Okay.
Because this is all
You
these
said
things I'm seeing are kind of a copy
Yeah.
pasta from
What
Renegades.
Renegades? What was the was there is it an actual game?
Sorry, Star Wars Outlaws.
I was gonna
Star Wars
say
Outlaws.
is there a Star Wars Renegades game out there?
Sorry,
Outlaws. Yeah. Okay. I remember Outlaws. Yeah. Okay. I don't know.
I mean, not these are Destiny guns, but I mean like the idea of venting. I'm not saying it's going to be bad. I'm a little concerned, is all I'm saying. And obviously, the idea came from Lucasfilm.
I got you, man. I got you. Of course, obviously, the all or nothing pulse rifle, that just looks like a lot of fun. I mean, it sounds really good. So I'm all for that kind of stuff if that's the case. The others, I'm really not a fan of submachine guns right now. I don't know. There's auto rifles are just a better option to me. Hand cannons, you know how I feel about hand cannons.
Your Tide is so good. Your Tide is really good compared to a lot of auto rifles.
Yeah. I mean, there's some good auto rifles out there right now. That is for sure. I tell you what, though, more so than the Praxic Blade, I'm really looking forward to this heavy ammo sniper rifle, the refurbished A499. This, you know what it looked like to me when I saw it in the video? It looks like a what is it called? The Wonder Waffle that we used in Zombies. It has that very open flare look, almost like a one of those pirate guns. I can't remember what the term is for it, but it looked like
I'd have to say, I don't know.
Yeah, it's it reminded me of the Wonder Waffle. I think it's called the Wonder Waff, but we called it the Wonder Waffle. But it reminds me of that gun. So those are two weapons right there that I'm definitely going to try to get right away. And as the 3314 said we're getting Chewie's crossbow with the heirloom, the special ammo crossbow. So yeah, I've tried the crossbows that I've gotten, mainly heavy ones. And I like that I can go run after and get the bolt. So I don't have to worry about ever running out of ammo, but man, there's just a lot of faster ways to kill stuff. I know they hit hard, but I have not been a fan of the crossbow. It just takes too long to fire it. It takes too long to load it. I don't know, man. I maybe this will change my mind with this special ammo crossbow that they got coming out called the heirloom. But those are the two weapons I'm really looking forward to.
That's the thing. When we have so many weapons in the game,
I know
nothing stands out unless it beats everything we've gotten previously, right? So it's like, that's the problem when you have too many weapons in a game. They bring out new stuff and it's like, unless it's like better than everything else we've ever gotten.
Yeah, but another thing too is because we don't have to worry about ammo, maybe this is the way to go to get people to try new weapons and not stick to their old ones that they've been using. But I'm just not a fan of crossbows. I even in other games I've tried them. I think I had a crossbow in Battlefield even at one point. I was like, this thing's a joke. It takes way too long. By the time I load the damn thing back, I mean, what is this, the 1800s? I mean, come on. Anyway, those are the two weapons that
we still have to worry about. We still have to worry about ammo, don't we? They just don't have a ammo meter. They have a
there's a perk on them. There's a perk on. Hold on, I'll just pull it up here real quick. There's a perk on one of mine where it actually.
I mean, they don't have magazines. They just have.
Yeah, they don't have magazines, but there's a perk on it where it.
We still have to pick up ammo.
Yeah, you have to go pick it up, especially. But there's a perk on it where you actually can bolt scavenger. It makes the bolt last longer, where it doesn't disappear automatically. So there's a timer when you hit one of those bolts. I think it is. What's it called here?
Oh, I see. You're saying for the crossbow, you don't have to worry about ammo. Yeah, I mean that thing is not as practical. Here's the thing, like, we've been raiding it every week, and I've been testing that heavy crossbow from the raid for a long time because I heard some good things about it, but it was mostly it was bugged for a few weeks, and I finally switched away from it because I just wasn't getting the DPS I wanted. And then Todd's all surprised now that I'm doing more DPS than him all of a sudden now. But
I know why.
I was trying that weapon for many weeks, and DPS is one thing. You're not going to be picking up the bolts, but even when I would try it a little bit on ads, it's kind of novel that you can pick up the ammo, but like that's not always a practical thing to do because you may not want to run to that area because you know the flow of where ads are coming out here, then there, then there. And if I have to run over there to pick up a bolt, it's just pointless to me most of the time. It very rarely works out perfectly where I'm picking up all the bolts.
Yeah, I don't want to.
So it's cool in theory, but that heavy crossbow, I don't really.
It gets real old fast when you got to go. Oh, where's the bolt again? And you see a little heavy ammo symbol. And you're like, oh, there it is. Oh, let me run through these enemies and try not to get killed.
The doctor was saying in the chat, I don't think you'll be able to pick up the bolts for the heirloom.
I could see that being special ammo too. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe it fires faster. Yeah. Maybe you'll have a quill of arrows in your back, on your shoulder or something when you use it. I don't know. I don't know how it starts, but anyway. But those are the weapons. Let's talk about the armor. There's 3 pieces of armor coming out. The first one is for the hunters, called Fortune's Favor. After landing a final blow while at full health, or when out of combat for an extended duration, your shields are recharged into an overshield. When you have an overshield, your weapons gain increased accuracy, stability, handling, and damage against combatants. And final blows will grant a short period of increased mobility once overshield is depleted. Don't hunters already got 10 mobility as it is? Why do they need more mobility? Man, they're just gonna dance around everybody.
They don't have 10 mobility. They still have to spec into mobility.
No, they made a change with one of the they actually brought. They brought the inherent mobility trait to 10, what would normally be 10 in our past Bungie games.
I see what you're saying, yeah. But it's still not like the biggest thing in the world.
I don't know. It's nice having a bunch of shields, that's for sure. We'll have to see how that plays out, maybe in a raid or something. I mean, who are we kidding? I'm going to probably bring my Warlock in. Here's the one everyone's talking about, the Titan Praxic Vestment. Gain an air move jetpack. Weapon and arc-powered melee final blows build up jetpack fuel. Activate your jetpack while airborne with a powerful blast that exhausts nearby enemies. then fly forward based on the amount charged, collide with a combatant to unleash a blinding blast of arc energy and gain a temporary bonus to your melee stat. That sounds like fun, but I'd be worried about that fuel and knowing exactly how far I can go before, what is it? That, remember in the Star Wars movies where Boba Fett runs out of gas and he's like, he's falling to the ground. His little jetpack runs out of energy or
You
runs out
also
of.
have to know that for everything in the game.
That's
Once
true.
you get used to knowing how long it lasts, you know how to use it.
Once you test it.
But I also think that people are overhyping this.
Yeah.
People that can kind of look ahead, like me and a few people are like, yeah, it looks fun and gimmicky, but it might not be that amazing when people actually start using it.
Yeah.
It's really hard to know because this type of a thing is either going to be broken in OP and they have to dial it back,
of course.
Or if it's already at a good level, it seems like it's cool from the trailer, but when people actually start using it, like, this is fun and all, but it's still not the best exotic in a practical sense,
Yeah.
So I'm really thinking, even though, and we'll talk about the Warlock one in a second, but even though the Hunter and the Warlock one look more boring compared to the Titan one, I think they're
more functional.
I'm predicting, I could be wrong, I think they'll be more functional overall.
I get it. Speaking of which,
and Titans are probably saying, no, you're wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong.
Well,
I
let's
don't
see what.
know. I just have a feeling it'll be gimmicky.
We'll see what the collision with a combatant to unleash a blinding blast of arc. Let's see how potent that is, and we'll go from there.
Well, and how quickly you get it back, because if it's
it's true.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the big thing. So
yeah, it's true. And it's weapon and arc powered melee final blows build up jackpot. Okay, so any weapon. Okay.
Weapon, but it still doesn't mean it's going to be like every 10
That's
seconds.
true.
It could be, who knows?
And yes, the Doctor 3314, I stand corrected. Yes, it was a heavy blaster, not a quill. Absolutely. I mean, come on, that's because we're in the future at Star Wars. We're not in 1886 firing bolts, using quills like in the elves in the woods and stuff like that. Anyway, the Warlock exotic armor is called the Demosophusion. That's how I'm gonna say it. While a Strand Super is equipped, I think about this. While Strand Super is equipped, casting Rift will suspend nearby enemies. Okay. Suspend deals damage over time. Okay. So DOT. Healing you in the process. Combatants who break free from the suspension suffer additional damage. Defeating suspended targets heals you a moderate amount as well. Editors note this originally said it was suspend combatants, but this will actually suspend both combatants and players. Let the trollage begin in raids.
Players, I think they just mean PvP, right?
That's probably what they're talking about, yeah.
Do you think they actually
mean
PvE
I don't think there's friendly fire. No, I don't think so. But that got me thinking. So, I know someone would use it right off the bat.
When they first told us about this too, I was kind of like, but I've grown to like this idea more and more. I think this will be an excellent, potentially neutral game exotic, especially when I read the additional detail about defeating the targets heals you a moderate amount, not a small amount.
Yeah.
And so this could be huge, actually.
You can make any weapon.
So many things. When you initially do it, it suspends nearby enemies. It adds damage to them, healing you in the process. Plus, when you kill them, you get even more heal. It's just all sounds pretty interesting. I don't know
if I can use this on Prismatic. This will be more fun.
You can, as long as you do a Strand Super.
Yeah. Okay, good. This may be fun, man.
So it's
you know what
what will it do if you don't have a Strand Super? If you don't put two and two together,
probably just won't work.
Pointless.
Probably just won't work.
Probably won't work at all. Yeah.
Here's the thing, though, Kingsley. Here's what people don't realize is you're going to turn every weapon in the game into a Crimson that gives you health back or a Red Death. You're basically you're creating
only when you have the ability.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Not the whole time.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. But that
you have to. That is only
cool.
The suspended guys. So it's not everyone on the whole field. It's only the guys near you.
That makes sense.
No, I'm
typically
not
they'll be the ones in front
bad.
of you.
I still think it's good, but it's not as good
Casting
as you made it out
rift
to be.
Will suspend nearby enemies. Okay. So you throw the rift down, and you start shooting. Okay. And it does DOT.
Well,
that's pretty cool.
You don't even have to. I think use weapons. Any enemy that dies while they were in that suspension,
Right.
once they die, that heals you.
Okay. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
The
I think it sounds actually kind of good. I
I
don't know
like
if
it.
we'll see, but it has
I mean,
potential for sure. For
yeah, the
sure.
landing a final blow while at full health or without a combat extended duration, your shield will recharge into an overshield. That is pretty powerful for hunters. That's going to be fun too. I know all the Titans are going to jump on that Praxic investment. That's for
That's what I'm
sure.
saying. Like, I feel like the Titan situation will be like, hey, yeah, look at us Titans, and then
Yeah.
guardian down, guardian down, guardian down. But then us warlocks and hunters are seem a little more boring,
Right.
but they will be very practical, very useful.
Tajo says, or you keep getaway with Devour or Cure Fragment and get health back from far away kills, jolting targets and using your weapons and other stuff. Well, man, I'm telling you, Tajo, I am loving I'm loving my getaway artist right now. That's all I use on my main account. So, and I tell you what, I'm using on my other accounts that don't have prismatic, and I know, shame on me, I haven't had time to go get that stuff yet. Is the Axiom bolts, being that they have an extra explosive charge now. I'm owning things with just using like Controverse holds with an Axiom bolt. I'm throwing that out there, and I have like wanderers for days. And by the time they're done wandering around and blowing and killing stuff, I've already got my grenade back. It's pretty fantastic, man. Hunter is greater than Warlock is greater than Titan. Okay, that's your opinion, but we'll see. I'm always going to lean toward
that for these exotics, not in general.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Yeah. So Taj, you're saying
if
that
I had to guess,
the Titan is going to be the gimmicky one.
I would say that too.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying too.
It's always good to have an overshield. That's like an extra damage you can take.
Doesn't mean the Titan one's going to be bad. We just, for initial impressions,
yeah.
If you try to just get past this is cool, yeah. I think that has potential. Like what Taj was saying, the Hunter one will be the most effective.
Yeah.
Then Warlock, then Titan.
It's going to depend on two things with the Titan: is how quickly is the jetpack fuel built up with weapons and arc powered melees, which you only get one arc powered melee unless you have another exotic, which you can't use. And also how much that collision with a combatant is going to do damage. If it's like a Superman Titan slam, then that might be worth it. We'll have to see. Yeah. Being airborne is dangerous without DR. Exactly. Well, we'll have to see. All right.
Down.
we're moving on, celebrating Veterans Appreciation Month with us. I have a very soft spot for veterans, being my father and my grandfather are both veterans. We're proud to introduce Veterans Vanguard at Bungie, our newest inclusion, diversity, and equity association dedicated to supporting those in our workforce who have a background in service. The IDEA was created to build a strong, inclusive community where service-minded individuals can connect, find shared understanding, and access meaningful resources. Whether someone is transitioning into a civilian role, looking to grow their career, or seeking camaraderie with others who share similar experiences, this IDEA exists to support them along the way. It's exactly why I'm wearing my Bungie Foundation t-shirt tonight. Pin and emblem. Order the new Be Courageous collectible pin and receive an accompanying code for the Tribute to Bravery emblem. With each purchase, $7 will be donated to the Bungie Foundation to support Gold Star gamers and Stack Up. And you guys know I've done a with Sweaty Spooks. I've actually done a stream, a charity stream for Stack Up. I'm a big believer in that charity is fantastic to our veterans out there and our actual enlisted. So emblem. You donate $10 through the Bungie Foundation campaign by November 30th and receive the new Tribute to Bravery emblem. All net proceeds support Gold Star gamers and Stack Up. Man, I'll tell you, this is the one time you definitely want to, oh man, what an emblem. Yeah, this is definitely the one time you want to definitely support the Bungie Foundation, because this is such a great cause. Not saying the other causes aren't great as well, but like I said, it hits my heart, man. I bleed red, white, and blue for our veterans. I really do. Anyway, so get that. Cosplay Cosmodrome returns. During Back to the Final Shape, we saw some incredible creative cosplayers stun us with their different cosplays, from Micah 10 to The Witness. Well, Cosplay Cosmodrome is back for Renegades, and we have cosplayers from all around the globe ready to represent. See more in our Cosplay Cosmodrome article, which includes introductions to all of our wonderful cosplayers. Give them some love. It's the last week of Festival of the Lost. Make sure you turn in and make sure you turn in your candy. I'm collecting all my candy, and I'm going to just go to Eva and just dump it. I'm going to get Ingram after Ingram after Ingram after Ingram until I'm out of candy. And I've got a big stack of candy I'm going to be bringing in there. So, Deadpool 1 Merc. Don't forget the Marine Corps, buddy, is Monday, and Veterans Day is on Tuesday. Oh, believe me, it's my father's birthday. My father's birthday is on Veterans Day. We're celebrating his 80th birthday this weekend, by the way. I cannot wait. 250 years. That's right, zombie. That's the anniversary, isn't it? Yeah, that's weird. That cosplay. I see what you're saying there. Okay.
Yeah, everyone look at the twin. There's a very interesting picture.
You talking about the page? The page? Okay.
Well, I posted it in the Discord chat.
It's strange.
You see that left picture?
Yeah, it's definitely strange. It's definitely strange. Final fashion and creation picks. We've already shared a bunch of great fashion and creations in our social media this week, but before Festival of the Lost ends, we wanted to pick a few more winners of the A Crimson Cathedral emblem. As always, thank you for sharing your talents. We got Cade 6. Man, that looks really good. That's really well done. Young Ahamkara's body. That's really good too. Man, where do these people come up with this stuff? Gydos in her ultimate form. Okay. Well, even shows the build, all the armor and shaders. That was very nice of them to do. The lean man in the distance. That's pretty cool. The Spider Queen. This is the one that Kingsley is talking about. The Spider Queen. Yeah. Yeah, it's out there, isn't it? I'm Scold the Pharaoh. That looks really good. That's a great helmet. Yeah. Elixni out in the wild. Okay. That's an actual cosplayer there. That's pretty cool. And Cazador de la Rosas. That's pretty cool too. Yeah. The conductor. Just looking through these are all on Bungie.net, by the way. We're just looking at all the cosplay. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yas Queen. Okay. Classic Harry horror poster. That's pretty good art. Yeah, I like that. And this was actually submitted from our community. This cat approved mask. Did you guys see this in our community this week? This is one of our community members who posted this. Do they give credit who it is? I'm trying to remember who it was. He wanted to post it in the.
Well, if you click on the Twitter link, it says Fallen X57.
Yeah, Fallen X57 in our community actually posted this in our Discord. I said absolutely, and once he posted it, this is really well done. And how did you get your cat to get in that mask? That is amazing, man. That's amazing. Shout out to Fallen. Good job, man. That was great. Witness these pumpkins. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's some art. Really nice. Spooky frosting. There's actual cake someone made with the emblem. Sir Skullduggery is pleased. It's some beautiful art, man. We got some really talented people in our community. Festival of the Lost sale extended. Let me just tell you, I did buy 2 t-shirts, this being one of them, the Bungie Foundation. This was delivered to my door literally 2.5, 3 days after I ordered it. You know how stuff takes forever to get from Bungie? Man, they really move this stuff quick, and it is $7.77 flat rate shipping. So, yeah, see what's left in the Festival of the Lost sale at the Bungie store. And of course you get a great emblem as well. So, yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. There's that Sincerity emblem. It's really nice. Yeah. Okay. Player support report. Daylight savings time ends. Remember that the reset is now 12 p.m. Eastern, not 1. Oh, they just leave it alone. Just leave daylight savings where it is. You know, I'm working today. It's 4:00 and it starts getting a little overcast, and I feel like I got to go home, man. It's 4:00. It looks like it feels like it's already like 6:30, 7:00. It's ridiculous. Okay. I'm off my soapbox. Yeah, shit's broken, guys. If you want to see, there's not actually a big list. It's actually a very small list. Clan Night.
That's not because there's less issues.
No.
It's just because they haven't put it in.
They're
here.
just tired of listing them, the same ones every week. Yeah. I still, Bungie, Bungie cannot put anything in my vault at the tower. I have to use DIM. Pretty sad when I have to use a third-party app to move my stuff
vault
around.
mode. You go to vault mode, L3. They said that that's how it's going to be now.
L3?
They might change it back. But
L3, what?
Yeah. You go to vault mode. So when
While
you go
I'm at
to
the tower?
Vault, you go to the, and then you go into the vault, and then you go into your screen, and when you click L3, then you can put stuff in the vault.
Oh, I did not know that. I think it was only for controller.
Actually, a lot of people are saying they prefer that now because you don't accidentally.
I'll have to try that tomorrow.
That way you can click on things when you're quote looking at the vault, but you don't put them in unless you're in vault mode.
I can learn that new habit, no problem. This old dog can learn a new trick.
Yep.
Okay, Clan Night. When a Destiny 2 clan comes together, nothing can stop them, especially if you bring in a humongous sword. That is a great pick. Clan Night by Sedona via X. Pretty cool. You
can do it from anywhere. Doctor reminds us you don't even have to be.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Looking at the thing. So
you
really,
in orbit?
just
in orbit
learn
too?
the new thing. Don't go. Yeah, supposedly. Yeah.
Okay,
so,
I'll try it. I don't have my game open. I'll try it though later. Lord of the Rings, the Fire Team of the Ring, producer Raziel and Lemon Dent 4. Looks pretty high production there. So that's the movie of the week. Check that out. Renegades is almost here, less than a month away. But first, you need to prepare by arming your calls, whatever it's called. Devrim will have a cup of tea ready for you as you raise your power and get to the top of the ranks. See you on the frontier. Destiny 2 community team. Thank you, Destiny 2 community team. I know you guys are trying to wind things down and get things ready for the holidays. You can take off your little holiday break. Well deserved. I'm sure it's been a rough year for you guys. So anyway, that is this week in Destiny. So up next is our topic of the week. I think you guys will get a kick out of this. Be right back. Sweet. Recorded. Good. All right. We'll go back to our main screen here. That's pretty cool as well. Pretty cool. Okay. Let me close out some windows here that I don't need open anymore. And we will get to our, topic of the week. All right, I think I'm ready. Let me just to get a drink here. My throat is getting a little dry. I gotta watch this fan. It starts blowing up on me, and it starts drying my throat out really quick. I even was sipping jasmine tea and throat coat while I was talking, and my throat gets dried out. It's crazy, man.
Stop deep throating your fan.
I'm telling you, man. Well, I'm in Florida. I'm used to fans being everywhere. Well, I'm from Florida. There's a
if you got a fan literally blowing in your face, it doesn't matter how much you drink. You're still going to get dried out.
That's true. I got it pointing down now. Okay. I tell you another thing too is my nephew, my grandson. I watched him on Monday, and he had RSV. Yeah, I'm so lucky I didn't get sick, but I still feel kind of the effects of it a little bit. So my throat's a little raspy. Okay. And I'll tell you what I'll do. I will share my screen with you guys in the Discord this time, because we're going to go to screen share. When I go to screen share, I'm not worried about windows lining up. Then I can pop it in there where you guys can see it, which I will do once I get started. Here. All right, here we go. 3, 2. Actually, hold on one sec. Okay. All right, our topic of the week. This week's topic of the week actually was inspired from what we talked about last week on the roundtable there, Mike. I mentioned at some point that I had invested in the gaming industry in like an index fund, and you had asked me, well, how's that going? And for me, it got me thinking, did I make the right decision investing in the gaming industry? I mean, with all the negative talk around the Destiny game, I really didn't want to jump into yet another topic around Destiny. but I wanted to take a broader view of the industry as a whole and see what has actually emerged this year that might lead us to think it could drive the future of the industry as a whole. I first discovered a very attractive site that I wanted to show everybody. I mean, and don't worry if you're not watching the live show right now. I'll explain it, what we're seeing on the screen, so you guys, your audio listeners, can understand what we're looking at. But I will leave a link to this website if you want to look at it afterwards. Let's see. Here is the website. I'm going to go ahead and pop up our. Let me get it right here. Boom. This is the website. Hold on. I'm going to share it to the screen, to the Discord as well. There we go. See, I think I can. No, I'll just do it this way. This is the website. And hold on. I'll share my screen. There's a screen, guys, so you can see it. This is the actual Entertainment Software Association, ESA, who came out with this site. And it actually gives a lot of, kind of at a glance, it gives you numbers of what's going on in the gaming industry right now. And the first thing they said was that 205 million people play video games in the United States. That's 60, I think it said 64% of America plays a video game. That's a total with peripherals and accessories and everything, a $59.3 billion industry, which is pretty sizable. 28.
Now, do you know?
Yep.
I assume their definition of video games, because it should include this.
It's pretty broad. It's pretty broad.
Also include mobile games, right?
Yes, this is including all gaming, by the way, not just console and PC.
Because I do think we need to normalize that games on phone are also considered video games.
They are.
And
we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Here's what surprised me.
And then I'm actually thinking that number is low. It should be higher if you include.
Well, they say it's. Then they even said right here, it's the numbers keep growing. So this is where we're at right now, but the numbers continue to go up. But here's what surprised me: 28% of Americans who are age 50 and older, and I have to include myself in that, play video games, and 82% of parents who play video games play with their kids, which is always awesome. I always did that too. And everybody plays. These are the demographics they showed. This is surprising as hell. 1/2 of people from age 61 to 79 play video games every week. This is not my parents. Is this your parents, Kingsley? Because they're not my parents. My parents don't look at video games. I don't know where they got this figure,
my mom probably does.
Really?
But I don't know that my dad does. But yeah, my mom definitely does. And in fact, that's going to go to this chart too. I do want to talk about that boomer thing.
Yeah.
Very interesting to me.
It surprised the hell out of me because I was just glancing this site. And I went to Gemini, Google's AI, and I said, "Hey, what are some trends that are emerging in the gaming industry, if any, that are really changing things?" And that's this. They've sent me to this site, which is really surprising to me. Gen Alpha, which are our youngest players out there, 90% almost male, and about 80 or about 78%, I would say, are female. Gen Z. Well over 80% are male, and 70%, I would say, are female. And it goes down the line. The silent generation, this is like World War I, World War II. Actually, World War II. Sorry, it's my grandfather's age. World War II. World War I, I'm sorry, they're all past.
Most of one's probably
World War
dead.
II. There's a few World War II vets still alive. That's the silent generation. They're still 35%. Are male and female equal are playing video games today. And boomers, and here's what's surprising about boomers, and no, I'm not a boomer, I'm a Gen Xer. Boomers, there's more
Gen Xer.
There's more females, 50% playing video games than men, and male boomers, it's about 45%, 45%, and it's like 55% for women. That was surprising to me.
Yeah, that's odd.
It's very odd.
I wish there was some analytics if they think they know why. Only thing I can say from my limited knowledge base is I do think my mom, I know my mom plays some mobile games, and then my dad, I don't know that he does. So at least in my limited anecdotal evidence. My mom does, my dad doesn't.
Maybe
So
that supports the
it is interesting,
supports
and
it.
they're in the boomer category.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gen
so
Xers. I mean, Gen Xers, millennial, Gen Z. It's always male dominated. It's definitely more men playing than women. But
but
yeah, I
not by
mean,
like 2x. It's pretty close actually if you
what's
look at the numbers.
it's funny is almost as many. Yeah, just like you said, almost as many. I would say the amount of women playing boomers are almost equal to Gen X. Actually, Gen X is less. There's more of a discrepancy between men and women in Gen X than there is in the boomer category. And yeah, like 58% or something around is male. That's me, Gen Xers. Millennials right there in the middle. Yeah, that surprised me. The 50% of people aged 61 to 79 play video games every week. That is amazing. That's not my parents. Anyway, we'll keep moving. There's a lot of info on this site, guys. We're just getting started. 36, it's gone up a year, is the average age of players that play video games. The gender percentages, it's very much almost equal now. Just a slight advantage for males, or actually no answer, was a little small percentage, but player gender percentage, I'd say it's like 48, 52 female to male. So it's definitely getting more equal between men and women at play. LGBTQ identification as players as a percentage. Yes. I would say probably eighth say yes. All the remainder say no. And then there's of course a small subset that don't answer that. Why we play: health, learning, and connection. Games are more than fun. They support our emotional well-being, spark creativity, and bring people together. Motivations for playing video games: 60% to pass the time or relax, 62% to have fun, and 35% to keep my mind sharp. And if you've listened to anything I've talked about in the past coming about my reason I play video games, is my eye-hand coordination, because I have very good eye-hand coordination when I played baseball, and I didn't want to lose that. And playing first-person shooter games really help with eye-hand coordination, especially if you're sniping and you're trying to make sure a dot hits the head of a player. It takes a lot of skill to do that. That's very very good stuff for your brain. This is players 18 and over, by the way. Yeah.
I have comments on this one.
Yeah, go for it.
So a lot of times when people come on the show and the default answer is like, why do we play video games? It's like to escape. That would definitely be under the relax category.
Absolutely.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's always been to have fun.
Mm.
I don't use video games as an escape. For me, it's always, since when I was a kid to now, my primary reason is to have fun. Nothing wrong with the other categories, and obviously even the majority is to pass time or relax. Now, but what's also interesting is if you look at the graph, and it doesn't totally do this, but generally like um for to keep my mind sharp, obviously that's going to be the reason for that is more when you get older.
Yeah.
No one when they're young thinks I need to keep my mind sharp by playing video
But
games.
look at the percentages.
And then
it's
also,
2-to-1 female to male. Almost.
yeah, but also what I was meaning was like Gen Z, and then it goes higher and higher by the time you get to Boomer and Silent.
Yeah.
And then it's the opposite curve for to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Gen Z, it's the highest, and then when you get to Boomers, it's like the least. And I think that's just people's priorities in life.
Yeah, sure.
Yet the pastime or relax goes up. Even for Boomers, it's a slight over Gen X to pastime and relax.
It's a big percentage of
So
each.
I guess I'm one of the rare ones. Like, I will always consider my reason as to have fun.
You're Gen X, right?
But if you look at the trend, I'm Gen X. But if I'm young Gen X, I'm almost millennial. I'm like just 1 year over that line.
You.
But the it's interesting. I'm gonna, even though the trend goes down for having fun as their reason, I think for me it'll always be my main reason is for having fun.
Okay, good points. I mean, that's awesome, man. I mean, yeah, Gen Xers 40% do it to play games just to sharpen their mind. So I guess I'm in the minority there. Anyway,
it goes up to 65% for Boomers.
It does. Yeah, that's fantastic, man. That's fantastic. And I got more to say about that too, about getting your mind sharp down the road here. 81% of U.S. adults believe video games provide stress relief. 76% of U.S. adults believe video games bring different types of people together. Agree that play video games bring people joy through play. 84%. Provide mental stimulation. 81%. Provide stress relief. 81%. Provide accessible experiences for people with different abilities. 79%. Help improve cognitive skills. 77%. Bring different types of people together. 76%. They also agree that video games can teach problem-solving skills, 78%, teamwork and collaboration skills, which I do believe that very much so, almost 70%, adaptability and resilience, 60%, science, technology, engineering, in other words, the STEAM skills, 57%, communication, 53%, inclusive attitudes toward different groups of people, 51%. That was an interesting statistic too. Any comments on that part? It's pretty straightforward.
Not for me. Yeah.
Okay. Games that connect us. Video games help players stay connected to friends, family, and entire communities. Well, we're an entire community, right? Who players are playing with? Friends, almost 70%. Online only friends, 45%. Siblings, 35%. Other family, and it goes down. Spouses, significant others, children, and parents is only at 15%. Of Gen Alpha and Gen Z, 79% play with friends, and of Gen Alpha plays with their parents is 55%. Those are good statistics as well.
So I don't know that I believe this stat, because this shows more people play with friends, which would mean IRL friends versus online only friends.
That's what surprised me.
And don't you feel like that is not the case? Even if my mom's playing a video game, she mostly does mobile games, but if she was playing with, maybe she would play with a real friend. I don't know. Like, I just don't get that. Like, that doesn't seem true to me. I very rarely play with IRL friends video games. Most people, and it's hard to say, like, a lot of us have met up in person and we can be considered friends versus online only friends. But like, I don't know. That just seems weird to me, that one.
Maybe friends was all inclusive friends, and then they cut it down, maybe more specifically online friends. Maybe
that's not a good study, but
that's true.
I read it as
friends. Friends.
Anyways,
online only friends versus friends. Yeah. Okay. Keep moving here. We got a lot of data here. 89% of total players have played video games online. 89%. 55% of all players play video games with others weekly. 72% have played with others in person or online. 72%. When it comes to staying connected, players agree that playing games can introduce people to new friends. Say they have met people through video games that otherwise would have never met. Say video games have helped them stay connected to friends and family. And say they have met a good friend's spouse or significant other through video games. So those are some other important statistics there.
Yeah.
Beyond the play, games and real life, video games led me to discover a new song because of a video game played. That's me. Discover a TV show or movie watched because of a video game. Discovered a video game because of a TV show or movie. Who's talking about Fallout right there, and by the way, season 2 is in December coming up. And that's going to be New Vegas. It's going to be the New Vegas world, which will make more sense to me because that's the part of Fallout that I played a lot of. 56% of players 18 and over who play sports in real life play a video game version of the same sport. And 87% believe playing a video game version of a sport improves real life performances. I don't know. What do you think about that one, man? I played a baseball game.
Yeah, it makes sense. It doesn't necessarily mean it improves it a lot, but anything of improvement is still considered an improvement. And just think of it as like you're visualizing possibilities when you're playing a video game. So then the more data that's in your mind, you can actually implement that when you're actually playing the sport.
You can theorize what you're doing too. Yeah, you can use a theoretical approach to that's okay. Your mindset's in a good spot there. Okay. I don't know about you, but when I used to play fishing games when I was younger, I used to want to go fishing so bad, even though they were digital fish. Families and video games. With video games, parents are in control. Among parents who played video games, 78% regularly use the ESRB ratings. I mean, this is I'm going to skip over that part because who cares about ratings? We all know about what that stuff is.
Obvious too.
It's very obvious, exactly. Access for all. Adult players who report having a disability, 21%. Challenges faced while playing video games. This is among players 18 and up with disabilities. Physical, visual, cognitive, auditory, and other. I don't know about you, but I've played against teams that of the hearing impaired community. They kicked our butt in Crucible. I think we were playing a whole team that I guess their clan name, alluded to everybody that they were hearing impaired, and they didn't need any sound. They kicked our butt. They were good. I love seeing stuff like that. Anyway, yeah, physical. I mean, we talked about physical. I mean, I think you've talked about how you're thinking about possibly changing over to a different input device because of arthritis and stuff in your hand. And that, I mean, that's on the light end of things. I'm sure some people have, cerebral palsy and can't control their hands like they normally would want to. Yeah, a lot of different disabilities there. So anyway, I thought that was very interesting. They talk about the industry. By the way, this was an important graph. An industry powering entertainment. Video games outpace other forms of entertainment, and they're just getting started. This is what kind of gave me more faith in my gaming index fund that I'm invested in. Back in 2002, when the Nintendo released, they talk about 2006, Nintendo Wii, PS4 released in 2013. They talk about the Nintendo Switch in 2018. These are just milestones. You can see this graph. It's quite a bit. It's grown quite a bit. And I don't know about you, but I see a pretty good hockey stick here when it comes to growth in gaming, in the gaming industry.
No, you're ignoring the last few years, though. I think we've reached a plateau. I don't think there's much more growth they can find from people. And if you look at all the numbers above that prove that 90% of Gen A.
Yeah, but here's the thing. This is artificial right here, Kingsley. This is artificial. This 61.2 billion right here in 2020, that's COVID. So I think if anything,
but it doesn't matter. People didn't stop playing since then.
Yeah.
I still feel like we've reached the cap. There's not many more people they can pull.
Maybe so.
It'll go up a little bit, but not much.
Well, what did I say last week?
We're hitting the plateau.
I said last week that once video games make that next quantum leap in graphics, in photorealism, and what you can do inside a game, that graph's going to continue to go up. It's going to continue to go up. I would not be surprised.
Well, how much? If they have 90% of the people playing.
I think these are 2024 statistics here. 59.3 as of 2024. I'm curious what 2025 is. Well, the year's not over yet, so I guess they can't come up with that number.
I believe even Xbox and PlayStation were saying things like their subscription services aren't growing much anymore because they've reached the caps. Like, you can't find many more new people out there.
Well, we've talked about that.
Already playing video games.
We've talked about that too, where there's less players overall, but players are more engaged and they're playing longer hours. So it kind of equals out a little bit. I don't know. I'd be curious to see where that next quantum leap in graphics and processing power and maybe AI gets involved in this as well. The doctor says the best way for that graph to increase is turning 3D world countries into first world countries.
No, third world, not 3D world.
Sorry.
Third world.
Third world.
So that still kind of improves my point. Like in the US, we've pretty much hit a limit. There's still a little bit of people they can find, but there's still people out there, but I don't know if it's going to grow that much anymore.
We probably already know this, but these are the top.
Everyone's playing.
These are the top grossing games. Call of Duty's in there, NBA 2K25, Helldivers 2, Madden games, of course, EA Sports, Elden Ring was number 9. Mobile games, Monopoly Go was number 1. Jackpot Party, casino slots. I love the Jackbox games, not Jackpot. Jackbox games. Our family plays those all the time on our mobile devices, but anyway, we already kind of knew that.
You know where the growth is you need to find something that'll get more of the boomer and silent generation to play. That's where the growth will be, because I feel like if they've already made up their mind, they're not playing yet. There needs to be something really, really cool that comes out that they will change their mind.
Right.
What could you do to change your parents' mind? This is what I'm saying, so that they would actually start playing.
I think it would be
games.
ease of play, Ease
Yeah.
of play, ease of understanding, and obviously photorealism. I think that would really get them. The graphics would probably get them to bite. I mean, a lot of people who don't play a lot of video games, you know, some people really aren't into like cartoons and stuff. And let's face it, a lot of video games are still pretty cartoonish, but they're getting close. I mean, like
I don't know if that's true because a lot of
look at
people will
Destiny
play
2.
the phone games and they're
Yeah.
cartoonish,
Well, look at
like all the
Destiny
Candy
2.
Crushes and
I mean,
stuff.
you can
But
see the patina on the guns. You can see the scratches. I mean, details like that you would
just because
never.
you like that doesn't mean
All
everyone like the
right.
Candy
I like the
Crush. There's
realism.
into those games, and
I like the realism. I
I'm
mean,
not saying that's untrue either,
yeah,
but try to think not just what you like. Try to think what the
I
general
know.
public would like.
But let's look at another game that
Um,
just came out. Arc Raiders. Look how realistic those worlds are. People are really digging that game, man. And I mean, it's beautiful worlds. And I think they're coming
well,
out with
that's
a.
not going to older players, that's for sure. I'm
Well,
thinking about the
no,
older players.
no, that's well. I mean, yeah, I still think they need to have a PVE version, but I guess a lot of people don't agree with me on that. They want to keep the PvP alive in that game, but anyway, well, here's another article I came across. This is from Dulcedo. Gaming trends to watch in 2025. The future of gaming is here, and these are some of the trends that they came up with. This is a very short article. The golden age of game remakes. Nostalgia continues to be the driving force in 2025. Expect to see more iconic classics remade with modern graphics, improved mechanics, and expanded storylines. Franchises like Silent Hill, Metal Gear Solid, The Legend of Zelda are rumored to be making epic returns. These remakes don't just play on nostalgia, they introduce beloved games to new generations while honoring the originals. What do you think? You think that's I mean, remasters.
Like I feel like we've had remakes and remasters ever since I thought the early 2000s. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe it's a little bit more these days compared to back then. I'm not saying that this isn't
Well,
happening. I just
yeah. Keep in mind
like
the gaming generations are getting older. So they're feeling the love for those old games. Anyway.
yeah.
Another thing they
Oh
said.
yeah, I wasn't even saying if I think it's a bad idea or not. I just wonder if like
No, that one got me curious. They said AI leveling up gameplay. Expect smarter NPCs that react in real time to player choices, storylines that evolve dynamically. I thought of you when they talked about this, and procedurally generated worlds that feel endlessly fresh. Games will become more personalized, with AI tailoring difficulty levels, in-game events, and even character interactions to suit individual play styles. This leap in technology will blur the line between player and game, making worlds feel truly alive. What do you think about this? You think we're
just
there
my
yet?
soapbox again. We need to stop calling it AI because No Man's Sky procedurally generated. We don't have to say it's AI. It's AI. People are putting that term on everything these days, and you can have procedurally generated without it meaning AI. You can have AI stuff without it meaning just procedurally generated. But yes,
Okay.
I agree on the bigger picture that I want more of this procedurally generated stuff, like what No Man's Sky does, or I always keep wanting it in Destiny or other games. I don't want it in every game, all the places, but the more that they can add in, I think will be a good thing. And just because AI is being used to do some low level programming for a game, that doesn't mean procedurally generated is necessarily better. You still have to have the high level designers, the humans to direct how to make this procedurally generated in the first place. And once that framework is made, you can have bad procedurally generated and you can have good procedurally generated. But once that framework's made, then where AI benefits is just it can code that faster than a human could. So that's where I don't think AI is necessarily making procedurally generated better. It just can make it more. It can make it faster if that's what's happening.
Hey, I'm all for this, man. I don't think we're there yet. Like I said, No Man's Sky has been doing this a while, but the thing with No Man's Sky is they're not quite there in photorealism yet. Still a little rough, but it's procedurally generated. They're all new worlds. I mean,
here's
not
some more
Destiny.
proof that
It's not Destiny.
not everyone cares about photorealism like you do. One of the most popular games right now is this game called RV There Yet. Have you heard of this game?
No.
That came out a little while ago.
No, I thought you were talking about the
$7.
bonk game. There's a bonk game that's crazy popular right now.
That too. And you can see that there's proof that not everyone cares about
Okay.
photorealism, or else these
Yep.
games wouldn't be doing
But
so well.
if we're talking about bringing the older generation in, we want immersion. We want immersion. I want to feel like I'm escaping into this world. And if I know that NPCs are going to be more
50,
smart.
50. You can't speak for all of us.
That's true.
I'm 50
It's true.
50. I like photorealism sometimes, but it's
Yeah.
not.
Hey,
You will actually judge a game if it doesn't have photorealism. I won't. I'll judge it on how fun it is.
I mean, I've played a lot of video games in my life, and I'm always looking for video games to improve on themselves. And I'm just very, very tough when it comes to that respect. And it's just because I played the 8-bit games when they first came out. I thought they were the shit, man. I mean, I thought the Atari. I thought the Atari Space Invaders was fantastic. I couldn't believe I'm actually playing Space Invaders at home, but it really wasn't Space Invaders. It was an 8-bit version of a 32-bit game that was on a console in the gaming space. It wasn't, I don't know if it was 32-bit, but it was 16-bit at least. And let's just say the console games were still much better than the home-based game version. But we've come a long way, man. There's no more arcades anymore, pretty much, because the game consoles have gotten so damn good right in your house. Why would anybody want to go to an arcade anymore and put money into a game when you can buy it one time?
Because the experience.
I mean, there again, nostalgia.
Why would anyone want to go to a movie theater?
There's a reason people go to Dave and Buster's, because they want to play the video games like they did when they were younger. I get it, man. I do. I get it. But here's a good comment. Doctor said, the best way, my parents already play video games. My grandmother, however, has had her mind made up by the media influence. I totally get what you mean there, Doctor. Black Ops 1 remake would be perfect right now. Halo remake is going to be hype. I look forward to getting remakes for more of my favorite oldish games. Hey, I'm right there with you, man. I'm right there with you. In fact, they already made a new version of Modern Warfare 2, didn't they? They had made a remake of Modern Warfare 2. Or, Modern Warfare 2. I'm pretty sure they made a remake of that game. Okay, so we can all agree this would be awesome to have.
His next comment says, making every game photorealistic kind of just cheapens the novelty.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I agree with you there, Doctor. I'm sorry, man. I don't. I'm always looking.
Opinions, but I think you think everyone wants photorealism, which is not true just because you want it.
I'm telling you, you watch Ready Player One, you're probably thinking in the back of your mind, man, wouldn't it be awesome to put my goggles on and go to a cosmic bar where I can meet all my friends? And that brings me to the next point. Web3, blockchain, and NFTs reshaping ownership. We don't talk about NFTs much. They kind of fizzled out. I think it was too early, to be honest. But what if you could create a character that could you could insert yourself into any game, and that is your character. That is what represents you on an online environment. If that's what they're talking about here, then I definitely see that as the future of gaming. I mean, they're talking about decentralized marketplaces allowing them to buy and sell and trade tokenized items. The shift empowers players to have a real stake in their gaming experiences, fostering player-driven economies, transparency, and even cross-platform asset ownership. Imagine unlocking a rare sword in one game and using it in another. This is the future of Web3, making it possible. We're not there yet, but I do see that as the future of gaming. I think the gaming community, you can already see it happening, Kingsley. The consoles are already going away. It's not about hardware anymore. It's about what platform you're getting on now. Everything's an Xbox, right? Well, now with crossplay, you can pretty much play with anyone on whatever gaming setup you have, minus the phone. But I mean, even Battlefield 4 had it where you could be in a commander mode, sitting in your bed and ready to go to bed at night, and be dropping nukes on real actual games that were happening. You weren't there on the battlefield, but you were directing troops. And if they would follow your orders, you would get more score. Man, what a freaking concept that was. I cannot believe they haven't brought that back. But there's an example of playing on different platforms and playing together when you're not actually shooting a gun on the battlefield. Man, that was a fantastic mode. Man, Battlefield 4, what a fantastic game. Anyway, this is already happening as well. DLS4 and the rise of frame generation technology. NVIDIA's DLSS 4 and advanced frame generation technologies will be game changers in 2025. These innovations will allow ultra smooth gameplay with high frame rates, even on less powerful hardware. Gamers can expect breathtaking visuals without sacrificing performance, making 4K gaming more accessible. This technology will also push the boundaries of VR and AR gaming, delivering lifelike experiences with minimal lag. This has been the biggest hurdle, I think, to VR gaming right now, is the fact that the processors aren't quite strong enough to recreate like a game you would play on a console. It's not quite there yet. It's a little slower, and it's not quite as detailed an environment. But I don't think they're very far away, and I really hope they don't give up on VR, because I think those are going to blend. VR is going to blend into normal gaming down the road eventually. At least in my opinion, I do. But frame generation, that's already in Borderlands 4. They had the frame generation setting.
It's in every game if you want it. But I don't know when this report came out, but I disagree. This is game changer for 2025, because we're almost done with 2025 now. And what a lot of people have noticed with how
this came out
DLSS has worked this year is
January, first of the year.
It hasn't helped enough. And then also people have noticed that they notice a lot of what they call tearing, which is where the AI of adding the extra frames. You can have higher resolutions, but it doesn't look good. You get weird input lags and stuff like that. So this definitely did not come to play very well yet, but it's still, I'm not saying this is a bad idea.
No.
It just has a long way to go.
These are all things that I think will stand out down the road in shaping our gaming environments. And I think eventually it won't be about the hardware, Kingsley. I think it'll be about your internet connection. That brings me to the next point. The surge, the cross-platform and cloud gaming dominate. The gap between console, PC, and mobile game is shrinking, and with cloud gaming services like Xbox Cloud Gaming, NVIDIA GeForce Now, and PlayStation Plus, which just came out with their new handheld, by the way, plus expanding, players can access high-end games on virtually any device. Cross-platform play will become the norm, breaking down barriers and fostering larger, more connected gaming communities, which we're already in the middle of that right now. But the cloud gaming, I think once everyone can get that connection, and it runs efficiently enough where it only needs
for years too.
I know it's been slogging along.
I don't think that's gonna hit Mass Effect anytime soon either. And remember, Google's whole thing failed. Yeah, and so
I think they were before their time. They came out too early, and the fact that you had to buy your games, I mean, that kind of defeated the purpose.
True, but it's bigger than that. I think and even with a fiber connection, if you want to play the twitchy games, you still don't want to play in the cloud. You never would want to, because you get better input lag and performance when you're playing locally. So I don't know. The way I know how technology has worked in my 20 years of professional experience, I just don't know how we will ever get cloud gaming to a point where it'll have perfect performance for a mass effect of people.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're the expert there. I'm just reading off the article, what it's telling me. The surge of simulation,
but it'll be good for like the games that don't need it. Like already people are doing that, of course. You want to be like a PvP player, like in Battlefield or Destiny or something like that. You don't want to play in the cloud, because you are going to get messed up. Well,
especially in competitive environments. I can't imagine the packet loss when you're trying to blend all these people together in one server. It could be tough. The doctor also says, speaking of photorealism, I heard at some point that Crysis 4 is in the works. Crysis 2, I remember playing that on my PS4. 3. Man, that game was out of its time too. It really, my PlayStation was singing though when I played that game. But I played a lot of Crysis 2, man. I had a lot of nights where I wasn't playing Call of Duty. We'd all jump in and play Crysis 2 for, I think, a good couple months. And then eventually they just didn't produce much after that. There wasn't anything new coming out. It wasn't a live service game. It was just to play it. They make a game, you play a game, and you're moving on. So, Crysis 4, man. I've heard they tried to bring back the Cryotech engine, and that it's crashed a lot of systems. So I hope so, man. I'd love to see that that engine come back, and the Crysis 4 would be awesome. The surge of simulation and narrative-driven games. Simulation games, The Sims, Stardew Valley, and narrative-driven titles like Life is Strange, Detroit Became Human are set to dominate. Gamers crave immersive stories and experiences that let them explore and connect with characters on a deeper level. These genres will blend more with VR and AR, offering even more engaging and emotionally impactful gameplay. What do you think about that?
Well, sure. I mean, Sims
Yeah.
has been around since the 90s,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I do think there's a lot of growth here, and people do want this. So yeah, it sounds good.
This next point, I don't even have to read it because I already read it, and I picked it up immediately. They said there's going to be more esports evolution and creator-driven tournaments. I mean, look at Twitch today. You have 30,000 people watching Dr. Disrespect. He puts his own esport community together, and invites these esport players that are really good. I could definitely see this happening. But this shift, they say, allows more inclusive and community-focused esports, giving rise to grassroots tournaments and unique creator-branded gaming experiences. I can see that happening if it hasn't already happened. This next point I've already been mentioning, but it talks about it. UGC, user-generated content, and modding go mainstream. Games like Minecraft, Roblox, and Dreams have already shown the power of user-generated content in 2025. More studios will embrace player creativity, integrating modding tools and custom content creation directly into games. This shift will empower players to shape game worlds, design new experiences, and even monetize their creations. This I definitely see as a future in gaming. What say you?
Well, maybe future, but they said 2025. Have we had more this year compared to 2024? I wonder. I don't know.
Well, look at CSGO. CSGO has major modded communities.
No. The in 2025 they say more studios. So have we had more that have come out this year than compared to previous years?
Well, I remember. I think I remember.
This already was big, is what I was saying.
Yeah, I mean, they're throwing a big net here. That's for sure. I mean, with all these topics, they're throwing a big net. I know they are. There's a lot of generalizing going on.
I'm not super impressed. Sorry,
but yeah, it's all right. This is. I mean, I don't know these people from Adam, but I thought some of these points are pretty exciting. I do see this as a future of gaming. I think more and more people we have very creative people out there, and I think, I'll talk about a game in 2025 that's doing exactly that. And I talked about it 2 shows ago. It's Battlefield 6 with the portal system. I could not believe when I looked at this video of a player who's in the middle of a battlefield, goes up to some blown up vending machines in the middle of a city square while all this gunfire and stuff's going on. And he literally is playing a Space Invaders game, albeit not actual Space Invaders, but using, assets that were in the game, literally playing a Space Invaders type shooter inside this vending machine that's in this world. That blew my mind, man, when I saw that video. So
that was user created versus
that was absolutely user created. You go to definitely example then, what? Definitely go to Battlefield 6 Portal. You can even type UGC and see what creations have come out so far. It is insane, man, what people can do when the studios open up the assets and say, here's the sandbox, have fun. And they did piddle with it a little bit in the past, where you could put all handguns against all knives, or you can kill people with you only could run around with defibrillators and shock people to death and stuff. And they did that in past Portal setups, but what they're doing here is fantastic, man. I'm very impressed with what DICE has been doing here. So, and then of course, growing gaming genres, simulation games, VR, AR experiences, and story-rich narratives are set to dominate in 2025. Hybrid genres are on the rise, blending gameplay styles for deeper, more engaging experiences. Mobile gaming continues to expand, reaching broader audiences and changing the way people play. That's a very general statement. So I'm not even
definitely throwing a net there.
That's a freaking trawler right there. Yeah.
I wouldn't agree with the VR thing, it really expanding, but the other things, sure,
I've been giving up on VR.
Expanded.
I think if Gator, you like Ready Player One, you should check out the anime sword art online. similar concept you may enjoy it. Okay, I'll look into that. I don't really do much anime though, man. I'm just an old fart. I never really grasped the anime community. I've watched some animes. I mean, Hazel shamed me into it a long time ago, and I watched a few animes out there. But I mean, I'll look into it. Yeah. So there was one more article I want to talk about, and some of it might be overlapping, but they give graphs. They actually give raw data here. And this is top 23 gaming trends of 2025. They talk about cloud gaming rising with connectivity. There's the graph in Moonlight PC, Air GPU. They show graphs here of since 2020, it looks like, COVID years up to present. You can see it's growing by 42%. We already talked about that, so I won't. There's the one I really wanted your opinion on this, Kingsley. Gamers shift toward DRM-free platforms. While Steam remains the dominant PC gaming platforms, a growing number of gamers are exploring alternatives, often for better pricing. DRM-free downloads or access to discontinued or indie titles. Platforms like Good Old Games. Is it Good Old Games? GOG? Is it Good Old Games?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good Old Games emphasize ownership, offering DRM-free versions of classic and new games. This shift also reflects a broader desire among gamers for flexibility and transparency and how they access and manage their games. Some users seek out alternatives for ethical reasons, like avoiding intrusive anti-piracy software, while others are drawn by specialty libraries or specific platform perks. As players look beyond the mainstream, expect continued growth in this fragmented but increasingly relevant ecosystem of Steam alternatives. And that industry from 2020 has grown 36%. So that's another thing to think about. What do you think about this, man? DRM free. Can you explain what that means to me? Like I'm 5 years old?
Sure, I can. But first I want to know, does this graph compare against growth in general? Because this could just be, if there's growth in general, then also DRM is going to be growth also because of the growth.
There's
So
Steam
we
Rip.
can't really know. They need to compare, like, are people buying less DRM games?
Yeah.
So that's why this went up, or is it just going up because there's growth in general?
Well, they're saying Steam Rip 223% growth since 2020. This is
yeah, but do you see what do you understand what I'm asking?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
If there's growth in general, this would also go up.
I got you.
But it's not useful in my information unless we know
I
regular
understand.
DRM games are going down.
I understand. I didn't know much about
DRM
this.
Just basically.
Go ahead.
And it's also interesting that it went really high at the beginning of 2025, but then it dropped huge.
Yeah,
and
it did drop. Yes, it did drop in popularity.
So I don't know what to read from this. I do know people would always prefer, DRM free, but I
didn't even know these were out here.
Like a deal breaker. Well, I did talk about it on the show a few months back. I got this pack on GOG.
Mm-hmm.
It was some spicy games, some other interesting games, and it wasn't just spicy games, but I wanted to support this foundation. And basically, you do own it. Like, it's, even if like the GOG, basically DRM free just basically means if you buy it through GOG, but you don't have to run their system to authenticate. Like, once you own it, you can run it on your computer as if it was like a floppy disk. You know what I mean? You don't need a authenticator.
That's pretty
to
cool.
load it up.
So in other words,
that's what DRM basically means.
when you put the CD-ROM that you buy from GameStop into your PlayStation 5, basically DRM is what's making it possible for you to access that game on your PS5 that Sony put on that disc, right?
Correct. For PS5 games,
Gotcha.
yes. But a GOG game can work where it's DRM free, where it's as if like, it'll always work. Now, of course, it won't, practically speaking, it won't always work, because if you upgrade your computer to Windows 12 10 years from now and they break something in the operating system, that won't let that game work. But it's not because of the owner of the game or the providers like GOG or Steam or whatever. They don't have control of the opening of the game, if that makes sense. They just, once you have it on your computer, it can open for free forever as long as something else doesn't break.
So even if Good Old Games goes out of business, it's your game, you buy it.
Exactly.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. I don't personally care as much, but I don't think this is a bad idea, and I get why people like that idea, and it's a good thing to have. Yeah.
I gotta admit something from my early days of gaming. Did anybody ever rig their PS1 where it can read any disc? And it had basically was hollow, where it would not pick up a DRM. I'm guessing that's what they're talking about here. I remember I would buy games, PlayStation 1 games. I would burn them on my CD-ROM drive on my burner on my computer. And I can't remember what I did on my PS1, but I could play a burned game perfectly on a PS1 disk drive on the
I mean,
the
I
CD-ROM.
did a little bit of that. I did
Yeah.
it more for music and movies. It's
Okay.
like video games.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I know what you mean.
So we're on the
Mhm.
same level as that, in other words, but you're buying it in an established, organized manner. It's not like a pirated boot copy or something. That's pretty cool, man. My son probably
But I'm
does some of
really
this.
curious why it went up so much and then it went down so
don't
much.
know.
That's what I'm more
Let me
interested
see if they
in.
give a
Yeah.
graph here. That's just cloud gaming. No, that's the cloud. No, it doesn't really explain why it dropped. Maybe a correction of sorts, because it does really
Because it went so high.
Spike here. It might have
there
been
is
just a
growth
correction.
overall. Yeah.
Could have been maybe growing too fast
Yeah.
here. Yeah, hard to say.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to keep moving here. There's a few more things I wanted to show you. Competitive gaming fuels training tech. This is another thing they say that was coming in the future of gaming, or if not already here. The rise of competitive gaming is part of a larger wave in sports trends, creating two types of a gaming culture. Some players just want to relax and have a good time, reflecting broader casual gaming trends, while others want to excel competitively. As games get more challenging and players refine their techniques, it gets harder and harder to leave the first group and join the second. Even for casual players, the required skill level is rising. Gen Y treats video games the way an older generation treated golf, as a way to socialize while also competing. This has led to a profusion of companies that are offering training and analytics to help players build up their skills. Refrag is popular in this space, focusing on improving players' skills in specific versions of Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike is one game of many, and there's far less popular games like Fortnite, indicating that this is a large market with room for more participants. Look at the 91% growth in Refrag alone here. That looks pretty freaking positive right there. And it was pretty much nothing. It was non-existent in 2020. And look, these are the aim trainers, things of that sort. They say that this is going to be continuing to go up. 91% growth over 5 years here? Looks like. That's
Interesting.
That's impressive.
I'm just not aware. Have you heard of a major growth in esports stuff at least recently,
Well,
like within the last year?
See what
compared
I
to the
would
years
want.
before?
See what I want. I would be so into this, by the way. I would be so into aim trainers and stuff if they had a version for controllers. Right now, only aim trainers I see, and I've downloaded a few to my PC, but I don't use mouse and keyboard. If they had one for controller where you can actually train your eyes, and this goes back to the part where I think if the Crucible and Destiny 2 offered a training version of the Crucible where you can learn guns, you can learn the maps, you can play against bots that have adjustable difficulty level. Like you can have some that are very, very accurate versus those that are just walking into a wall somewhere and you just shoot them in the head. But I'm really curious if they have something out for controller users. I know we're a dying breed using controllers, but I don't know, man. I would definitely use an aim trainer if they had one for controllers. When I was a young
Why do
and assist
people do
doctor,
refrag, by the way? Can you explain that to me? What's the purpose?
refrag.
Yeah.
From what I remember, it's an aim trainer. You basically,
No, I read this. It says refrag means one side gets a kill and then the other side immediately trades it back.
oh, this
Unless
is something different then.
Incorrect.
No, I'm probably wrong. I'm probably thinking refrag is like an aim trainer, but apparently it's something different. But this is something, well, okay. They got CS2 training here as well is another one. But I know I've seen Cammy Cakes because he waits forever to get into a lobby because there's hardly any players at his skill level that they'll match him up. So he has to wait for like 15, 20 minutes between matches. And he'll just put an aim trainer on and just continue to just train his eye-hand coordination. And sometimes it makes me want to pick up a mouse and keyboard and just start learning. And I know that I probably could damn, I don't need another thing to learn right now. I can't do that. I can't do that right now. I got too much crap going on. But anyway, they're saying this competitive gaming training tech is going to be continuing to grow. So there's going to be more and more people that are wanting
Okay,
to get.
so maybe I read that wrong. Refrag, another definition of refrag is a big category for like all sorts of things. It's not just the trading teaching, but it could
Right.
also be like it's okay, but it is ways to get people better to learn without like it sets guidelines. Like it makes you learn angles as one example. It
Right.
makes you learn trades as another
That's
example.
definitely Counter-Strike type
So
stuff.
then I know why people want to do that because they're basically training.
So
Um,
how I know this is probably a company, right, that offers all these services, I'm guessing, Refrag. So what
well,
are they doing exactly what I'm
yeah.
talking about? Are they putting you into a bot world and teaching you how to play the game?
Well,
I need to do more
if this
research on
is
this.
there's this place called wiki.refrag.gg.
Mm-hmm.
If someone knows more, they should let us know. But like,
Yeah.
there's 22 different in-game training modes. You can pick crossfire, you can pick angle trainer, you can pick pre-fire, you can pick defending, you can pick spray
Wow.
transfer, you can pick X-fire,
That's
you
pretty
can pick
cool.
blitz, you can pick, and it's just a bunch of training things
Like
basically
training
to
modules, maybe. Okay.
get you, yeah, get you better.
Wow.
Um,
Hmm.
so it's kind of
Prob-
like aimbotting, but like way more expansive than just
maybe
that.
it's
It's a
like
way.
maybe it's like what Call of Duty always did. You can go to a training range and you can play against, play against targets or whatever you're trying to learn how to play. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have to look
I
into
don't know, but
this.
then they in this article they talk about in the example of Counter Strike. I don't know if I fully understand it,
Okay.
but I guess it makes sense why people would want to do that because why not use a tool if you have it if you're into those type of games.
The doctor also says, when I was a young and I was actually really good at games, top 3 in the leaderboard every game. Nowadays, I'm more patient and less skillful. We all get that way eventually, doctor. There's an aim trainer on Xbox. I swear I saw one the other day. Okay. All right. I'm not an Xbox player, but maybe PlayStation will eventually have one. I'm all for that. They're
Well, I
saying,
mean, they're not going to be built into the games, but it could be a
yeah,
specific game that
why
is
not
just an aim
though?
trainer.
Why not though? I
Why
mean,
not?
what? No.
Because the developers don't want it.
Why not? Are you kidding me? Why? If you're a CSGO developer and you want more people to join into the competitive scene, wouldn't you want to have some kind of module or some kind of place where they can learn to get better? That would only make
Well,
people
sure.
want
I'm
to
not
play
saying
their
they
game
don't.
even longer.
No. I meant they don't
Oh,
want a hacky version that goes on
oh,
top of their
oh.
game that people can use to cheat.
No.
You
It
know,
wouldn't be against
yeah, they
live.
should build it
No.
in as a
Yes.
training. They should
Yes.
build it in as a
I mean,
training. Yeah.
let me clarify. This was not be an overlay or something you would use in an actual game. This would
hmm
be some way to learn how to play the game and be better at playing the game. Man, I like that idea. That's a fantastic idea. There is an aim trainer on Xbox, I swear, because they don't want to put it in the effort, the suits. I mean, again, you're only if Destiny had a type of aim trainer or a type of, like I mentioned, like a training grounds in the Crucible, it would only make more players want to play the Crucible as they start seeing improvement in their games. That's why people put out videos on YouTube on how to get better at Crucible, how to use your gun, how to use automatic weapons, all that. I mean, YouTube's been teaching people for a long time how to do it. All right, I want to keep moving on here because we're definitely getting up in time. Esports is going to break into the mainstream media. I think that's kind of already happened. Gaming becomes a lifestyle investment. As gaming cements itself as a core lifestyle activity, players are upgrading not just their gear, but their entire environment, from high refresh rate monitors, which we talked about last week, ergonomic chairs and LED keyboards. Gamers are building fully customized setups to match both their performance needs and aesthetic taste, part of a broader shift in video game trends toward the gaming as a lifestyle. So basically, we're going to be having a game room built into new houses, like a theater room. There's going to be a gaming room. Blackout curtains, sound panels. They talk about here, people are putting sound panels in their door,
I
and
mean,
they're.
not that much for everyone, but I think this even counts like you're a casual gamer and you like to
Yeah,
lay on your bed and play
yeah,
like PlayStation.
yeah,
You can still say like, okay, I bought an additional controller or something.
right,
That still counts for
yeah,
this as
yeah,
far as like,
yeah,
putting investment into your lifestyle,
yeah.
your gaming lifestyle.
I mean, there's even I can't remember where I saw this, but there's an actual hardware piece you can put behind your monitors that actually extends the aesthetics, the colors and themes when you're playing a game that actually spread to your walls, make it look even more immersive. I saw that somewhere. I can't remember what it was. So yeah, I mean, they're talking about the Downix chair here, Dow Winix chair. This is one of many things that, you know, any kind of gaming, peripheral stuff it's always going up in demand. Anonymity drives voice tech adoption. For years, video game players have let players customize their characters' looks, but if they chat with other players during the game, when services like Steam, over 100 million monthly active users, they still have the real world voice. For a number of reasons, gamers are increasingly using products like Voice Mod, which this is the reason I had this on tonight, Kingsley, because I have an enhanced voice on right now on Voice Mod. I asked you if I sounded a little different. This is enhanced voice in Voice Mod. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off just to show you the difference. And boom. This is not enhanced Voice Mod. Does this sound a little different?
Mostly you sound a little quieter, but also like the sound stage is a little more limited too. So yes,
it could be
it's a little
too.
different.
But yeah, this is regular voice through my mic, and this is Voice Mod. This is Voice Mod. You can tell I'm a little bit brighter.
Wait a second. That may be what's happening. You did not cut out at all when you didn't have Voice Mod on, then you turned the Voice Mod back on.
I swear I only used it tonight to prove my point about anonymity, but I can change my voice to just about anything. I mean, there is one AI one here called the Ringleader. I sound like a little boy in a cave. Here I am right now. You've been using
this version of Voice Mod for weeks, right?
No, I have not been using it for weeks. This is a voice mod of me as a younger boy, where there's a lot of reverb behind me, you can tell, but this sounds nothing like my voice. And a lot of people are switching over to something like this. So I'm going to put it where I can hear myself so people in the recording can hear me. This is what it sounds like. Just like this. It's pretty cool. Technology's awesome. And this is AI. So anyway, I'll switch off. Sorry. I was going to play.
Sounds like a girl, actually.
Well, it could be a girl. I wanted to play with it a little bit tonight just to extend the point of people wanting to be more anonymous when they're online. I mean, especially girls. Girls get online and once a boy, I don't know what it is with the boy's brain. As soon as they hear a female voice playing a shooter game, they go one of two ways. One, they either lavish way too much attention to the girl, or they go the opposite direction where they actually kind of verbally persecute the girl that's trying to play in their game. Like you're trying to get into the boys' fort, you know? No, you're not allowed. Girls aren't allowed. Things like that. And this is where people can switch over their voice to something totally different. So, yeah, I thought this was very good. And I use Voice Mod. I pay for it. This is one of the services that our Patreon community pays for. I think I pay $29 a year for this Voice Mod, but it's pretty cool. I really love Voice Mod, and it's gone up 19% over the last 5 years, and their volume was already pretty high. But I think Elmer Fudd Games turned me on to Voice Mod, and it is a fantastic soundboard, and it's totally virtual. It's an app on your computer. You pull it up. It's that easy to use. So, streaming culture boost earbud demand. We were talking about your new earbuds, Kingsley, your AirPod 3s. They're saying that there's going to be a whole new level of gaming earbuds that are going to be coming out, because there's one thing that people don't want to wear while they're playing a game, especially when they're trying to look cool on Twitch, is they don't want to wear cans on their head. So earbuds, this is just gaming earbuds. And generally speaking, gaming earbuds have gone up 3% growth, 115,000 volume, and their numbers were already pretty high, but they continue to grow for gaming earbuds. So there's another one here too. IEM for gaming, 85% growth. This must be a new company that just came out, but they were non-existent in 2020, and now have grown 85%. So that's IEM for gaming. So yeah. All right. That's another one. Moving on. Gamers, like I said, shifting to DRM free platforms, 36% growth in good old games. We talked about it already. I won't repeat myself. Competitive gaming, Fuels Training Tech. I'm right ahead of myself.
I think you
I'm repeating myself.
got
Sorry.
back to the beginning
I did.
accidentally.
I did when I went back. Yeah. We talked about the anonymity, the earbud demand, focus boosters, caffeinated drinks. I mean, my God, we don't have to go into that. So many gamer sups and all kinds of different gamer, basically caffeinated drinks that, people want to be more sharp.
Just
Gamer
question,
subs,
and
10%.
no judgment if you're this person, but
Mhm.
do people really think that gamer drinks are better than just any other type of caffeinated drink that also has
I bought a gamer sub.
creatine or whatever the hell in it?
I bought
Like,
I bought Grenadier Jake's flavor of gamer subs. I tried
like
it. It's got a lot of herbal stuff in it too. But
But
honestly,
caffeine is the main thing that helps, and I'm just a little skeptical that all these other little gimmicky things will make you game better.
it's very expensive. I thought the gamer subs would come in like a can like this with
Just
powder.
drink some Coke or
It
something,
was
you know what I mean,
literally
or
a little
coffee.
pill box of powder. I'm like, man, that's gonna last like a month maybe. I guess that's the point. They want you to reorder
Yeah.
every month, but I
No,
don't
I
know.
know. That's what I'm
I don't know.
saying. Like, do people actually think they're going to game better with an official game drink versus
I
like
don't
a
know.
regular caffeinated
I
drink?
don't
But
know.
yeah,
Hardware aesthetic spark
I'm
online
sorry, I'm being
sharing.
judgy there,
No,
but
I'm right with you with that because the market has been so flooded with gamer, supposed gamer improved drinks and stuff when good old cup of coffee will do just the same thing.
it even says in the article they sell drinks like blah blah blah,
Yeah,
which is essentially
basically
just caffeine for
caffeinated drinks.
gamers.
I know. I read that too.
Well, you can get
I read that
caffeine
too.
for a lot cheaper than a gamer
Exactly.
drink.
But it's Grenadier Jake's gamer sub flavor. Don't you want to try his new flavor, Kingsley? Come on, man.
I
Hey, I
don't
bought
want to
it.
try his flavor.
I bought it just because I wanted to support the guy. I like the guy. I wanted to support his brand. So, yeah, they're talking about here how
You're the
aesthetics.
influence Deadpool. What does that mean?
This hardware aesthetics
Sorry.
spark online sharing. All they're talking about all here is that everybody has the RGB colored fans and the I'm staring at my computer right now. It's glowing like a freaking glow stick right now. It has even the cover to my CPU is freaking rainbow swirling colors right now. That's the way a lot of the computers are showing off. This is ARGB
A lot
PC, which sells the
I
RGB
don't.
fans, 57% growth. Yep.
I don't care about that, but I do understand a lot of people do. Now,
Yep.
although if you look at the last year or two, it's
It
gone up
coming
or
down a
down,
little
but
bit.
it stayed
Yeah.
kind of flat.
But look how
Kind of
fast it
stayed
went up.
flat. Yeah.
Anytime I see something dropping after a big, climb like this, it usually tells me it's a correction, and that's just a market correction. And it could be, it could be the the
But it
economy.
hasn't risen since
Yeah,
early 2024. It's
it's
still
been pretty
below early
steady.
2024's high.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
steady. I look at a PC now. If I'm trying to buy a gaming PC, they all come with this RGB stuff. They're all just freaking glowing like crazy because they know that's what sells. Especially when they put the video right there on the page, where you can see everything flashing and stuff. And that, it's just one of many light shows I can put on my PC right now. Gaming becomes Gen Z's hangout. Video game has become the top social activity for Gen Z and Gen Y, and nearly half of young adults reporting they made long-term friends while gaming. I totally agree with that. Multiplayer story games, 16% increase this year. So that's it. Those are the 23 gaming, well, not 23, but some of the gaming trends that they talk about in this article. And I can go on forever here. They actually list more below this, but I didn't want to go into too many specifics here. I'm going to go back to stop sharing my screen. Sorry, guys. And go back to our main page here because so what do you think overall, Kingsley? There's some high points in there, some things that maybe made you think a little bit, or is this stuff we already
Yeah.
knew, or
Well,
what do you think? My eyes were open for some of this stuff.
I feel like most of this I already knew, but what I'm worried about is probably more medium term.
Mhm.
I kind of feel like we are coming up with all the AI stuff coming up in a recession because more and more I'm hearing companies are laying off people, and not just in gaming, but in gaming you hear that a lot too.
Yep.
And if more people are losing jobs, they're going to have less money to those people have less money to game
Yeah.
and whatnot. And that along with my feeling that we've kind of hit most of the peak of gaming. We can't acquire that many more people.
Right.
I kind of feel like 2026 will be very, very flat, if not
Mm.
even go down a little bit
Okay.
with trends. That doesn't mean gaming is dying. I just feel like that's my prediction with stuff. Just kind of reading the tea leaves and whatnot. And I'm very concerned with this AI stuff with gaming that 2026, 2027, we are going to have less games overall and lower quality games.
Mm.
Now, I know that's not exactly what these articles are talking
Mm-hmm.
about, but that's
Yep.
just my
Okay.
impression because we've seen everything go up, go up, go up, go up. But then a lot of these charts were kind of showing 2025 was flatlining some. And you can call it a correction, you can call it whatever you want. But if the economy does bad, it could even start going down a little bit. And so I just wonder if the growth is not going to be sustained, is what I'm wondering. You know, sorry if that sounds pessimistic, but that's kind of what I'm
No,
predicting.
no, that's fine, man. I mean, that's the reason I love you as a co-host, because you don't always just, you aren't a yes man. You always want to share your view and be fair and honest in your assessments, which I like. I don't know, man. There's a lot of, some of these things I've touched on that I think Bungie could do to improve their game. I mean, can you imagine if we had where they said, listen, we have a new portal system now where we are opening up the UI and some of the programming features of our game, and you can just make your own bosses now, and you can make your own worlds. And if they go to this portal on the big map screen of all these planets, you could join this portal. It could be something like past game share type games. Anyway, creator content. It's creator new
That would be
game
cool.
content stuff. I think that would be really cool, but I think that's like a Destiny 5, if you ask me. I think that's how far
I
off
know.
we'd be.
I feel like that's less realistic than even a Destiny 3.
And
So
I don't know. And
it sounds cool, but I don't see that happening.
if there's any Bungie devs listening, they're probably rolling their eyes going, this guy is so full of copium right now. But anyway,
Well, it's a good idea. It's
Yeah.
just, is it practical? Can they do it?
I tend to be a little more positive when it comes to the gaming industry, because I really want to see where it goes from here, man. That's the one thing I love, that I've played so many games in my life that I cannot wait to see what comes down what's right around the corner, Anytime, that's why I love watching the Game Awards, because I want to see what's the latest and greatest coming out. What are they changing this year that they didn't have last year?
GTA just got delayed again, like we said earlier in the show. For all we know,
Yeah.
it'll get delayed even into
Could be.
2027. So,
Yeah, could be.
I'm a little worried with what this next year is going to bring with gaming in general, not just in Destiny, but everywhere. I
Yes.
feel like 2025 games were kind of a tail end of the 23, 24. And what we'll really see, because when the AI stuff starts coming out and the way the economy is and stuff, the 2026 year is really kind of what we'll see how trends go.
Yeah, we'll have to see. And Black Myth Wukong, there's a lot of AI involved in that game from China. I thought that was a really cool game. So I think it's there. And like I just talked about in last week's roundtable, how EA dropped the ball with their AI, and how the corporation thought they could just push the AI button and all of a sudden it would run the gaming studio. No, it doesn't work like that, dummy. You have to integrate it and make it easy for your employees to get their work done.
And then Square Enix just announced today too, they're laying off a bunch of people, and they're doing more AI.
They're blaming AI.
You're seeing this almost everywhere. And if we don't see games that are substantially better in 2026 or 2027, then this experiment was stupid.
Yeah.
And people are losing their jobs over it. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
And we talked about this in last week's show. I think there will be a bubble that pops when it comes to AI, but I still think AI will still be part of us like the internet was, even though the .com boom popped. But I think that it'll still be an integral part of our life.
Too expansively too.
Yes, we do.
There's things that large language models do that are very good.
Yeah.
But we're just using AI. The corporate people are using AI as an excuse for everything. And that's where
it's the new term.
Overblown. So
it's the new term. Yep. All right. Hey, thanks for indulging me with that, Kingsley. I know some of that probably was a little repetitive, and maybe even some of it was a little high and mighty out there.
No, I loved this, and it's
Yeah.
always good to show graphs and everything. Yeah.
You guys didn't want to hear my 10th reason why I think Bungie could improve their game? Come on. What's up, guys? I got another idea coming.
Hey,
just
you
around
did,
the bend.
You did, but you did say again.
I did.
This week.
I still mentioned it. I'm always thinking of Bungie, man. I'm always thinking of Bungie. I want their game to be
Hey,
better.
nothing wrong with that.
Exactly. Okay. Before we go, we got some pretty good questions from our community. So we're going to do that when we return. Awesome. Do you guys hear Kingsley cutting out at all in Discord? I'm making sure it's not on my end only. Kingsley's been roboting and throughout the show has been roboting and cutting out a little bit. Are you guys hearing that too? Or is it just me? I just want to make sure if it's on my end, I'll get this fixed. But if you guys are hearing, Kingsley lock up
And
a
you're
little
not
bit.
cutting out right now.
Yeah.
But you were cutting out majorly when you were showing all those.
No, where
things
you were,
and
a lot of your video was freezing and your voice was pretty clear, but your video was freezing a little bit. And that's what I want to make sure is if it's on my end, I need to get that fixed. So, yeah, anyway. Okay. Let's get to some questions here.
But you have to ask the people in Discord only because
that's what I did.
Won't count because you take mine and put it through yours.
Yeah, no, I know the people on the
and we only have 3 people in Discord
Twitch
right now. So if Deadpool Zombie or Doctor can let us know.
Yeah. Let us know if you do hear that. I'm going to leave chat, the podcast live stage chat so I can get to my questions here. Okay. Let's get to it here and we'll finish up the show here. All right.
Let's see. Questions for the show. I'll get this pulled up here.
Podcast questions. There we go.
I'll be able to answer them pretty well.
Okay. Yeah, we got.
I always lose that channel for some reason.
It gets buried. I need to figure out how to organize it a little bit better because I lose it sometimes too. Okay.
Yeah, where the hell is it?
It's right below question of the week. But right below question of the week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of buried in there. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, wait, where is it? Oh, podcast questions, not right below.
Yep.
A few below. Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Mr. Dead Rabbit. We'll start with him first. All right. Let me get a quick drink real quick. All right. Here we go. All right, boys and girls, this is the final part of our show. This is where we get our questions from you guys. And we got some pretty intriguing questions in our Discord this week. And I wanted to make sure we shared them this week because we had a roundtable episode last week and weren't able to take questions from our community. This is from Mr. Dead Rabbit. He puts a video here of how you can make custom emotes in Destiny Rising. And he says, I want to base this question off the 4-minute video. Do you think Destiny 2 would add such a feature in the main game? And what would that mean to have such a feature for a game when monetization is based off things like emotes? What do you think, Kingsley? You think that would be something that Destiny could or want to create in future games? Customizable emotes?
I think it's pretty cool, but I don't know if it's worth the juice that they would have to put, how much development they would have to put into it, like with how much they get. Now, of course, if they think the money is there, then that might be worth it. That's a tough one. I'm 50-50 on that. I don't think it's a bad idea, that's for sure. But whether it's worth it to them or how easy it is to implement.
Man, I remember when we didn't even have an emote wheel. Remember the early days of Destiny? You had one emote. That's it. Now we have an emote wheel where we can at least use 4 at a time.
Destiny 1.
Destiny 1, yeah. That was definitely a step up. That was an improvement. The problem is I have almost all the emotes because that's one thing I collect are emotes. I love having emotes. And there's some I just won't buy because I just don't think they're that great. With Bright Dust. And, it would just be something like I think if they did that, they would need to get rid of it. They need to make a place for it in the Guardian user interface. And I think they would have to boot the transmog part of that. They'd have to put it where the transmog part is, or if they did put it where the emote section is, they'd have to have a section, a tab you can L1 or R2 to go to your custom emotes. I don't know. I could see them doing something like that, but I know people sometimes will combine multiple emotes to make them look like they're doing a different thing. I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, for me, emotes are important. Yes, I love to have emotes in the game, but I don't know if I'd rather see other things come down the pike before customizable emotes. But that's one great thing Destiny Rising is doing right now, I guess. I have a few things I've been meaning to ask, just getting around to asking them. Everyone has been talking about the population dropping recently. What would be a rough number would it have to be before Bungie and Sony says enough and pulls the plug? So where's the drain, Kingsley? What's the bottom number? I think
No one knows.
Hold on, let me pull up population here.
Yeah.
Let's find out where we're at right now. Might as well we'll start with that.
You know, yeah,
popularity report.
because there's so many things that while you're pulling that up, there's so many parts to this question. Because, for example, Destiny 1 is still running, and obviously the numbers are very low there, but it's more complex than that because Destiny 1 doesn't need any resources. It can run on the same servers that Destiny 2 runs on. We could have a situation in theory. I don't think this would happen, but let's say Sony and Bungie, they're not making enough money off of Destiny and they stop development, but they don't turn off the servers. They have a way where, I don't know, maybe people are throwing in a couple token dollars here and there or buying stuff on Eververse where like nothing really new's coming out,
Mhm.
but they're like, we will keep the servers up for like another 3 years or something like that, right?
Right.
So it would be very weird for them to totally pull the plug unless it's more of a statement thing, like Sony decides like this is going horribly, they dissolve the game, and then they're like, we just want to forget about it. So then they shut off the servers too. Now, another thing that adds to the complex answer to that is we already know for years that they haven't been meeting their goals for money coming in for sales. Now, you could say they had those goals too high, whatever, but regardless, they've laid people off, so they haven't met their goals. They have too much expenses in developing the game, or those goals were too high, and that didn't cause them to shut off the game yet. So I think I think it would just be more likely community sentiment with mixed in not making enough money, mixed in with actual leadership that's behind the scenes like Sony. They're not like just the Bungie people keeping their head down, like, oh, we'll do better next year. We'll do better next year. We'll do better next year. When you're in the company, it's easy to have that mentality. But if Sony's kind of like a little higher level than that, they would probably be the ones that would more make that decision. So I don't think a number is really important other than it adds more data points to how the game is doing. They could have pulled the plug at a higher level than now, or they can pull the plug at a zero level. I don't know how to answer it. Sorry, I'm very
Well,
long-winded with that one.
no, we've been hovering popularity dot report is where I'm getting this from. We've been hovering around the 300 to 400,000 range, but as of today, 92,300. It's a precipitous drop. Just in the last few days, we've gone from 300,000 to 275 to 92 as of today. And of course, that's probably not accounting for the rest of the time zones out there. But so, I mean, if we go by yesterday's count, 298,000, give or take. So, I mean, that's still a lot of players, man. Everybody goes by the Steam numbers, but Steam has a lot more competition with games than your consoles do, I think. I mean, they're a lot easier to access. I don't know, maybe not, but
It's not a lot of players though when you consider it's on 3 different systems.
Exactly.
And if you look at how the numbers should be and how they've made money in the past and how much it is to develop a game, it's not a lot of numbers. Just because 300,000 sounds like a lot, it's really not in Bungie's situation. They need more players to survive in the long run, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm agreeing with Kingsley here. I think look at Destiny 1. I mean, it doesn't even show what. I don't think I can even pull up Destiny 1. I don't think I can. But
no, I don't think they have an API for it. For
probably
how many
don't.
People are playing.
So I don't know I know we have people I heard from this week in our question of the week that are playing Destiny 1. So someone's playing it. But anyway, yeah, I think this is a lull before this is always the lull between seasons. But you know what's
interesting though?
What's that?
No, it's not just the normal lull. It's not at all.
Can't use that today?
We officially got lower. We officially got lower
we did.
Than the worst of the worst Curse of Osiris.
Yeah, we're definitely hovering around the 200,000 to 400,000 range, I would say, on average. It's varied. Depends on the day.
The lowest Curse of Osiris got was 355. It looks like, and we've definitely gotten lower than that. We've even like a few
Yep.
weeks ago, it was
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
293.
I'm looking here.
So like this is the worst it has ever been. It's not a normal lull.
It's
If you
true.
look at all the
It's
previous
true.
years, those lows are a lot higher than this lull.
Let's keep this in mind, though. Let's keep everything in perspective here. Curse of Osiris. That's year one of Destiny. Their numbers, if they dip their numbers that low, that's a troubling sign for a game that's brand new, basically. Now, here we are 11 years later, and we're seeing these numbers. I'm not really surprised. I think there's a lot. Games have stepped it up. They're adopting a lot of things that Destiny does, open worlds, games and stuff. I think that contributes to it. It's just this time of year, man. All right. I won't go down that road. Let's go to the next question from Ronan Red Gator. The Gator thing. What's your current favorite piece of Destiny merch? And when I read that question last week, it reminded me to go to the Festival of the Lost sale that was at the Bungie store, and I got this t-shirt, even though it's a little small on me. They didn't have the 2X. This is the regular XL, but it fits me okay. Favorite merch. And he has a follow-up to it as well. He goes, what is a Destiny merch item that you regret not earning or picking up when you had the chance? I've got my favorite merch. It's in camera view, in fact. My favorite Destiny merch. What's your favorite Destiny merch, Kingsley?
My favorite Destiny merch is my Displate Pantheon
Nice.
raid plate up here, because Pantheon was very hard to get done, and this Displate thing is beautiful looking.
That's my favorite Destiny merch. You know why? This was $75. It's the mug that they offered for I'm trying to remember what year this was. But this was the Guardian games. I think you had to reach a certain score. It has a stainless steel sleeve that goes in it. Don't recommend using it as a drink cup, but you can put stuff in it and stuff. It's kind of cool. But yeah. The Nemesis Now 2022, Guardian Games 2022. I'll put that right there where you can see it. That is my favorite merch. Because you know what? You had to earn this merch. You had to reach a certain score in the game. You had to complete a bunch of challenges. I think you had to earn the title to even be able to purchase this mug. So.
See, I set mine as the background right
Oh, yeah,
now.
nice. I see it. What? No.
You obviously had to earn this, which
yes, you did.
Probably was harder than your earning thing.
That might be. Was that from Pantheon?
Oh, yeah.
That's sweet, man. That is definitely that's something you want to brag about. You know why I didn't play Pantheon? Because it wasn't soloable.
It was too hard.
It was very hard. I think I would have been fine playing it. I think if I got with a good team, we would have learned how to play it and gotten it done. But
I was not good enough for Pantheon.
I know you guys already
got it done.
I know the Guardian Hub community, the team that you guys put out to try to get that title. I mean, I think it was so difficult. I think I heard rumors that the last weeks of it, you were trying to get it done before the time ran out. You guys were not at each other's throats, but you were definitely, the tension was high on trying to get it completed, right? If I remember correctly.
Well, sure, but that's not even the big issue we're talking right now. It was hard. Mm-hmm. It was
that is pretty cool.
Think about like,
can you put that, just leave that behind you?
You just have no understanding how hard it was.
I don't. I saw that and I went, into the what was it? Into the Wild? No, into the Light. I like playing that stuff more than I did the Pantheon. Sorry. Plus, I didn't really have a dedicated raid team that I could jump into, because once you jumped into Pantheon, you had to be dedicated if you wanted to get that title. Yeah, man, you need to leave that as your background from here on out. Screw the palm trees and stuff.
I guess, but like,
that's badass, man.
The problem is all the cool parts right in the middle, and I'm always over it. But
it still looks good, man. It looks like you're sitting on a throne right now. It's so cool. All right. Thanks, Ronan Red Lion. Appreciate that. Those questions, man. What's one I regret, though? What is one item that you wanted to buy and regret? You know, I didn't get this year's personalized t-shirt. I didn't get the, what is it? The, every year they have the, oh geez, man, my mind is mush tonight. You completed a title, you could get, you can get the T-shirt for the year. And I've gotten them every year, and this year I did not get it, but I'm kind of regretting I didn't. I think I completed it, but I just forgot to order it on the was it the shit, now I gotta go look in my closet tonight. But there's a T-shirt you earned every year from completing, I think it was Moments of Triumph shirt. And they would actually they'd actually put your gamer tag on your sleeve, and maybe I'll wear one next week. That's always my favorite, some of my favorite merch as well. But yeah, that's one that I regret I didn't get this year. So there you go, Ronan. All right.
I don't regret any, but I'll just answer and say one of the raid jackets. But I don't
Yeah,
regret
sure.
any.
Absolutely.
Not getting any.
Okay. Mr. Dead Rabbit has another one here. Is there any character crossover from Star Wars that would be somewhat acceptable, or that you wouldn't mind seeing in the background in game, even if we don't interact with them? I don't know. How big a Star Wars fan are you, man? I don't know how big a Star Wars fan you are.
I'm a big Star Wars fan, but I don't think it belongs in Destiny. So I don't think there's any Star Wars character that I think is acceptable in the background. But they're already
Maybe.
doing that kind of with the Briggs. They kind of that AT-AT
Yeah,
look,
yeah.
or actually they're ATSTs. But
Right. I would like to
no,
see.
wait, what are the small ones? Are they the eight? Anyways, yeah.
Don't ask me. I couldn't tell you. I'm a fan, but I'm not like a hardcore fan. I mean, I love Star Trek too. So, how many
Yeah.
of
So
you?
what if they brought Star Trek into Destiny? Would that be weird or would that be cool?
The Enterprise? I don't know. That'd be kind of weird. I don't know. I'm really curious to see
and
how
some
they're going to
people are
weave
actually
this.
saying that about Star Wars too.
Yeah, yeah.
Some
I can
people
see that.
actually are saying
I can
it's
see
weird
that.
having Star Wars.
It's
in
too bad they
Destiny.
don't have a movie or something coming out soon where they can promote that in the game. But anyway, sometimes I think crossover stuff needs to be more planned out. I guess the schedules just didn't jive. But anyway, I wouldn't mind just a nod to the original bar scene in Star Wars. Maybe just in the background, seeing an old character from the bar scene. That would be kind of just a little quiet nod. Nothing specific, but something you're like, oh, I remember that character. I remember that creature. Yeah, that would be probably as far as I'd want to go. I don't want to.
So should they have a cabal with like the weird blue tentacles?
No. I'm just saying if it, like in the background, he said, like at the bar scene, because there's a bar scene coming, and they've already shown it in some of the Syndicate preview stuff. It'd be kind of cool if we saw like one of the characters from the original Star Wars. Now you got me thinking Star Trek. Okay. Thanks, Mr. Dead Rabbit. Good questions all. I know you had one last week. You had two. Zariel, I'm hoping I'm saying that right. If Destiny 1 or Destiny Vaulted Destiny 2 campaigns were returned to the main game for the Destiny Online that I keep prophesizing about how often do you think you'd replay them? Once, then never again? In other words, a new character, story catch up once a year because, hey, it was fun, or more? Now, I'll answer this first. I know I always let you answer first. I'll let you think about this. I would love it if Destiny would have a story of the day where it brought back an old story of Destiny 2, and not only could you play it and get the feels back, but they give you a really good reward for it. Something that as an impact that makes sense. That I would love to see. And I would play that every day. I mean, I'm already doing the seasonal stuff every day. If they had a story.
You're doing it every day anyways, so it really doesn't matter.
But he asked me how often I play it. If he brought back a story, you could even do story of the week, or maybe 3 stories for the week or something. I would definitely play it. Because I love the nostalgia of playing the early days of Destiny 2. So Lord knows I put enough hours in. So what about you, Kingsley? How often would you play, or what would you play?
I get what maybe he's trying to get at, or if you look at this answering it different ways, just in a pure sense, forget rewards for a second. Like no one necessarily likes playing campaign missions over and over again.
Yeah.
If there's a good reward, then certain people will.
That was always the problem.
I still won't.
Yeah. That was always the problem. Is there was no good reward for it. That's why people didn't play it.
But that still doesn't mean they shouldn't bring this stuff back. When you're saying if you're bringing everything back, that also means the cool strikes and the raids.
Right.
And we have all the raids back except for Wrath of the Machine. And obviously a lot of people who are raiders would be jumping on that and playing that a lot. It would be very replayable as a raid, because it was always replayable. It was the best Destiny 1 raid, and King's Fall was already pretty good in Destiny 1. They made it even better in Destiny 2. So
Mhm.
Wrath of the Machine would be pretty good also. And people would be playing that, like, not just for rewards. Obviously you should have the rewards, but
Right.
like it would be very replayable.
Okay. Yeah, it's all about reward for me. I mean, I love the nostalgia, no doubt,
Yeah.
but you have to make sure you tie a good reward for it, or even some important currency or something that warrants the time to jump in and do it. You know. So anyway, he actually answered a question for himself. For single player games that I still enjoy, I tend to replay them about once a year. In Destiny 2, I still occasionally go back and replay the Shadowkeep, Beyond Light, and Witch Queen campaign. Missions also go about once a year. I imagine would do the same with the older content, but I'm curious what you guys and the rest of the community might think about replaying these old missions and campaigns on a semi-regular basis. Thank you, Zariel. Good question, man. That was a good question. Very thought.
Yeah.
I put a lot of
Well,
thought
let
into
me
that
add
one.
on to that.
Yep.
It does show that people will play not just for rewards, because like I've been enjoying replaying some Destiny 1 with McMaximo from time to
Mm-hmm.
time, and you can't really say the rewards there are worth it.
No.
So I like the experience again, going through
Okay.
it again, and just kind of you know, from time to time.
Did I hear him correctly that you guys are when he levels up to a certain point, you guys are going to take him through a raid?
Oh yeah.
What's the name of the raid?
Do you want to be part of that? Wrath of the Machine?
Hell yeah, I do. I got
All right, we'll get
I
it
got
going.
a warlock that just glows red. I already got my warlock in
How
mind.
many times did you do that raid? Do you know? Did you do it
A
enough to be
lot.
comfortable with it?
I did a lot. I got pretty
Okay,
good at
cool.
it. I'd say at least 15, 20 times, I would think, at least. I had a raid group that
Because
ran it every week.
it is a little bit hard for, we wouldn't want too many new people, but yeah,
Yeah.
so that's good. Then
The 30
there's a few
frames,
people
I'd have to
new,
get
and then
adjusted to it first. I'd probably have to go play a patrol or something and
you'd
get
be
my eyes
fine.
adjusted, but that'd be fun. Be fun.
Yeah.
Amazing Taco King, one of our highest level patrons out there. This may be more of a larger discussion than a quick question, but here it goes. Question for the show. Do you think Bungie shot themselves in the foot and started bleeding themselves by giving us a major focal villain like the Witness to surmise the entire Light and Dark saga events? With this villain's introduction, it seemed like the intrigue and mystery that was the initial hook for most players just kind of evaporated, and the only thing that was focused on was how do we hurt or beat it for roughly 3 expansions afterward. Part 2, if Bungie had kept the premise of the darkness being this vague but mysterious and deadly force that was the antithesis of the Traveler and Guardians, do you think that the story and overall health of the game would be in a better place? Very good question. You want to go first? You want me to, Kingsley?
I don't care. What do you want? I
Um,
guess I'll go.
Go ahead. I'll add to
No,
it.
I don't think so. I think it's more complex than that. Just because you have, I mean, we had a really cool story with Edge of Fate, but it's more than having a really cool story. They cut so much content. The replayable stuff is just boring for a lot of people. It's not as much story as people think it is, because the story can be really cool, and then people will stick around for like 3 weeks, and when that's done they're bored because the repeatable stuff's not as fun, and or they cut a bunch of content like how the portal has. So that's just my opinion. Maybe it'd be in a slightly better place, maybe, but I don't think it'd be definitely in a much better place.
See, I mentioned this a few shows ago that we need to have another big baddie, someone that jolts us and gives us a little bit of fear. And now that the Witness is done and gone, the mystery's over. I don't know if they kept it alive. I think people were getting pretty impatient 3 expansions in. I think people were like, get to the point already. Let's see what the Witness is. Let's get to it. I think Bungie strung it along as they could. I don't think they could have gone any further with it. So I kind of agree with Kingsley here. I don't think keeping the Witness around, or this darkness saga, Light and Dark saga, I think it was time for it to end. And this new saga they've started, this prophecy saga, this new saga that they just started, we don't really know a whole lot about, but it doesn't seem as dire. The big baddie just doesn't seem as dire to me as the witness was. Not quite as mysterious. I don't know. I mean, what do you think of the prophecy story, Kingsley? Are you digging it, or that we've played so far?
Well, yeah, most people thought the story was amazing
Yeah.
when we did all the reviews for the
Yeah.
expansion. It was just more the gameplay was just
Yeah.
okay, but the story was amazing. And if you look at how many people dropped from Edge of Fate versus the final shape, it's not just because of the story. If the story was that good, it shouldn't have been a two-thirds drop.
Yeah.
So again, it's more than the story, in my opinion. It's just the game in general is getting the systems, everything. Just
Yeah.
I don't know. I think what it was, in my opinion, was not just because a Final Shape had that big story. And technically, by the way, too, if you look at the graphs, Lightfall had a higher peak than Final Shape did. Technically, it really did.
Yeah. And then it
So,
went down.
so, so what the problem was after Final Shape. That's when they were already kind of like starting to scale back. Instead of the 4 releases per year, they had 3.
Mm.
There less things to do. This year, there's even dramatically less things to do. I still think it's an easy answer. There's less things to do. That's why it's not because of the story. It's not because of this or that. I mean, yeah, you want to have a good story, but there's less things to do.
I like I mentioned, I love the fact that the new prophecy story went back in time and kind of tied in why Ikora is where she is today. That was very cool how they did that. And
Oh, it was a cool story. Yeah.
I really liked it. I really liked the angle. And, I was thinking to myself, how are they going to top Final Shape? And they must have brainstormed for a long time figuring out what new saga, where's the new direction we're going to go with Destiny 2. And so far, I'm digging it, man. I'm really curious how that prophecy saga ties in with Star Wars. So we'll see. We'll see. Well, I guess we'll know in about, 4 weeks, right? 4 weeks? Man, 4 weeks? Seriously? 4 weeks. Damn. Okay, we got one
minus 4 days.
We got one more. We got one more Destiny question here, and then we have a fun question. Then we'll call tonight. This is from Zariel again. He goes, "How much influence, if any, will Destiny's promised roadmap have on you?" What do you think? I mean, is it a make or break thing, or is it something it doesn't really matter?
I think it's something that doesn't really matter unless I don't think the roadmap. I know why people want a roadmap, and I do too. But I think people aren't really thinking big picture enough. If they came out with a roadmap tomorrow and said, "Oh, we have these cool ideas that we'll implement next year," it's not big enough. We need to have a bigger roadmap that goes like 2 to 3 years.
Yes.
Bigger promises. Also, B, we've learned this last year that they've broken a lot of their promises anyways. Solo Ops wasn't how they said it was going to be. Portal wasn't as good as everyone was hoping, this, and that. So I don't personally think a roadmap will be make or break or as important as people think it is.
Mm.
But I still think there should be a roadmap. And it'll be interesting to see what they say. And I hope it's not just a roadmap for like Renegades with like a little bit of 2026. I want to see a roadmap that really will be challenging them and will be saying, I want them to like actually apologize and say things like, "We know we've said this year after year, this is going to be better coming forward. But this year we actually mean it because this is what we're doing different." I want to hear something dramatically different. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, I know it sounds a little extreme, but if they were to do something like that and really just be raw about it and be emotional about it, whatever, which would never happen. But if
Right.
they could somehow, that would get me excited. That would be like, oh my gosh, like they're telling us all this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. It would be nice. It would be nice to at least have a philosophy. The whiteboard of which story is going to go to what. What is the overall arching. I don't really need to see specifics because honestly, I'm tired of Bungie telling us what's coming. I want to be surprised. I want to pop into Renegades and not know what's going on.
Well, then you can't run a podcast.
I know. It's
You
one of
wanna
the
be
banes of
surprised.
it's one of the banes of having a podcast is I have to be able to know at least what's coming around the corner.
Mhm.
But I mean, as far as specifics, like they've already told us all the guns we're getting, and why not? Why can't we just find out on our own? I think they're just so wanting to promote,
Because
get people
yeah,
excited.
because no one will buy it if they don't show anything.
That's true. Yeah. And from what I heard, a lot of popular Destiny 2 streamers are on family vacations this week, which means they're heading up to Seattle to, you know where. So I heard through the grapevine that they're playtesting Renegades and getting some early footage and cap stuff. And we're curious what to see what they say. But I'm sure there's definitely an embargo. I'm sure they can't say anything until a certain point. But I am really curious what our streamers think. Not that that's going to define how I enjoy the game, but
Well,
like
yeah, that's
Asta
different than a
Cross.
roadmap, though.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, yeah, you're right. Ball. Uh, no, I would love to see a timeline of some sort, but not too detailed. But I honestly, roadmap is not that important to me. It really isn't, because I'm going to play regardless, and I'm going to be
You're gonna play
surprised.
anyways. Yeah,
I want to be
exactly.
surprised what's coming around the corner for the most part. You don't need to tell me all the guns I can get. I want to say, oh wow, another new gun just appeared. I got this pulse rifle. Wow, this is pretty cool. This is awesome. It
But
sounds awesome too. But I get
but
it.
that's not what a roadmap would be either. I think what people want that want a roadmap, they want Bungie to say something like, "We we did certain things that we had to this last year to
Yeah.
keep the game how it was, and we will be bringing you more
Hope.
content in 2026 to
Yeah.
2027. And we're not going to tell you all the content, but we promise there will be this framework of
Yeah.
more content, more experiences,
Yeah.
and some will come out quarter 24, 2026. And if they could do a roadmap like that,
Right.
that could get people excited because they're telling us more stuff is coming. Yeah, they don't, obviously they're not going to tell us the guns that are coming out in 2026
Right.
anyways,
Right.
because that'd be too early even for marketing purposes. So
I really hate to say this, but I really think the fact that Bungie has split its development studio in half to make sure Marathon becomes some game that I don't know what. I don't even know if they know what players want on that game.
plus they fired people, so it's even worse than half.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
it's split in
when I
half,
first
plus
saw the
people were
trailer
fired.
to
Yeah.
Marathon, that song stuck in my head for months. Wow. I don't know who picked that music, but man, that I freaking played that music back and over again. It was in my head. I was so excited for Marathon, where you could all this customization and stuff, and then all of a sudden, oh no, hero shooter. It's going to be set characters. You're not going to be able to customize much. You won't have your own character anymore. So I'm like, okay, Bungie just took a step back from where they need to ascend to. Um, and, economics come into play where they got no choice. They have, Sony runs the show now. But I really hope that Sony's move to split the community, not the community, but split the developer studio and put so much effort into this Marathon game. And if it flops and it does not sell and does not do well, I really am worried about what happens to Destiny. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, these aren't my final words. Zariel does mention his own. He does answer his own question. He goes, DMG's recent Twitter post got me thinking, and I realized that ultimately I don't much care what the roadmap has. Renegades content and Bungie's overall attitude will have a greater influence on me. So yeah, good question. Thank you, Zariel. As always, if you guys want to put questions, especially Destiny questions, into our Discord, you want us to answer them on the show, it's discord.gg/guarding down cast, and just select podcast questions. You can ask us a podcast question related to Destiny or one just off the cuff. We have one non-Destiny question. It's from Barrel Barley 406. What is your favorite dream car that you would buy right now if money wasn't an issue? Are you a car guy, Kingsley? You kind of are.
Not at all.
What?
I would just buy, I don't know, I would buy something that has maybe a nicer interior. I don't care about speed or
Mm,
muscle or things like that. So I would probably still be somewhat practical, but like get the highest end of that. Like if they made like even nicer, comfier leather seats that were that used goose down in the in the seat so they're even more comfy or something. You know what I mean? Like I would do cars that have high technology, but not like Tesla style, but like like I would go all out with the interior stuff, but I don't really care about in general what the car is.
Yeah, for me, it's going to be 63 Corvette convertible, 427. I saw one at I've seen them all the time at car shows back when I had a car show when I brought my cart there. Man, I wish I could have sat in that thing because it is a time warp. You literally are getting warped back into the 60s when all that was the latest and greatest stuff. And it's such a clean, the interior is so simple, but so classic. I think they go, 63s, I think started around 60 grand and they go all the way up to like millions of dollars, depending on who owned them or how rare they are. So yeah, you can go just about anywhere with that kind of Corvette, but I'm a big Corvette fan. Obviously, who wouldn't want a supercar? Problem with supercars is most of them aren't very comfortable. They're more performance oriented. They're light. They have super suspensions and stuff. They're not really made. If you've watched any Top Gear episodes, these guys are getting killed in these cars. They're so bumpy and rocky and stiff suspensions. If I had all the money in the world to spend on a car, yeah, I would get something a little more luxurious. Yeah, zombie
My
pop.
grandparents' Cadillacs that they had.
No, sorry,
luxurious
no
inside.
GM cars. Sorry, I don't buy a GM car. No, sorry, my bad. I that's one car. I've gotten burned too many times with GM, and I just said I wanted a Corvette.
Cadillacs are nice. It doesn't matter that
They're
GM's
nice.
the master company.
Yeah, I know, but
I don't know if they're still nice these days, but there was nothing wrong with them back in the day. They were very.
I'm more
high-end.
of a dependability guy. I have my parents had a Fleetwood DeVille front wheel drive when they made those, and that thing was the biggest turd ever. It had so many crap that broke on it, and the more power everything it had on it, the more stuff broke. The switches started getting old really quick. It's why I still really like Toyota. I've learned to like Honda. My wife drives a Honda. It is you get in that car and everything is just so well made. Everything is so durable. The switches, you can tell the switches are really good quality. Not going to wear out and be junk. And my kids have older Corollas, and my son had an older CRV, and it's still a 93 CRV still felt pretty tight. So I'm a big believer in dependability and quality. And I'm sorry, Cadillac, when you first buy it, I'm sure it smells awesome and it probably drives like a freaking banshee out of hell. But I'm thinking long term when I buy a car now. I'm thinking 10 years. So I have to think about how this car is going to hold up. Anyway, that was a detour I did not want to go on. Thanks everyone for your questions tonight. Yeah, this is a little odd episode. We kind of went all different directions tonight, but hopefully you guys got a lot out of it tonight. And Kingsley got me thinking last week when I talked about investing in the gaming industry, and I started going down a rabbit hole, and that's what you guys experienced tonight. So we thank everyone who hung out with us tonight and interacted with us in the chat. And just to let you guys know, next week we have the next 2 weeks we have guest episodes because I'll have a mini episode Thanksgiving week, but we will not be going live Thanksgiving week, and we will not be going live Christmas week. Just let you guys know in advance. I do have something special for our Christmas week. I'll share that more later as we get closer, but next week we have Mr. Willem Screams on the show. He's a really popular Destiny YouTuber out there and has been following the show for quite a while now. And he reached out to me and said he wanted to be on the show, and we made it happen. So barring any emergencies or anything that comes up where we have to reschedule, Mr. Willem Scream will be on the podcast on our first guest episode of 2 for the month of November. And we'll, of course, put something out there to announce it so you guys can send questions into the show and go from there. So we thank everyone who hung out with us tonight, and be good to your fellow Guardians in the Destinyverse, and I'll see you guys in the Discord. Later, Guardians.
Have a good one.